gonna set up the positions and everything together, and this person's gonna go get the kills.
Yeah, right. So we had like two tanks, let's say, because Rafaela is a support, right?
Yes.
So when we pick that comp, TNZ is supposed to get the kills. If he gets the kills, it's easy game for us. Even if he dies, we just respawn. So it's kind of easy. He's meant to get those kills. If he gets them, GG.
Of course, of course. I mean, as long as you win the game, it's all that matters. And you nailed the third position. I mean, in the tournament, great work. I mean, one question: what did you find more appealing here in Astana, the weather or food?
In Astana?
Yeah.
Oh, the weather is so nice. Like the air is so fresh in the morning. It's not too hot, right?
Yeah.
I like it personally. Yeah. The weather is nice.
Have you explored the food yet?
No, so far not. We mainly eat the hotel food or like the local like the restaurants. Yeah, but we don't want to try too much in tournament.
Yeah,
of course. Of course. I mean, once again, now it's officially over for the your guys' run in third place. Is there anything you would like to tell to the fans, to your teams, anybody maybe who have been also eliminated from you? I mean, you guys had the rough games. I mean, you guys played against Falcons. You guys had against the other teams. I mean, was really challenging. I could see in the games always three games that you guys were back to back. Like, can you just share your thoughts all throughout the process of at the Game of the Future?
Yeah, so throughout the GOTF, right, we met a lot of fans. I received a lot of like friendly messages, supporting messages. So I want to thank those fans, of course, right. There was never really a moment where we like felt bad or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Because always there was someone supporting us, and I really want to appreciate it. So thank to all the fans, our fans, right. Thank you guys.
Oh, no, that's 100%.
Yeah. Great game. I mean, great game. You have Pagu here for the third time. I mean, that's in itself is an achievement for us and the fans. I mean, you get treated with Pagu again and again. But again, good teamwork, we should say. I mean, everybody played, I mean, better than each other. There was nothing that tops, but great teamwork. Congratulations again. But even if it's not the finals, I mean, you got the third. You didn't back out. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And, last one question. You've been always at the top of the roaming, ganking every time. I'm pretty sure you have a big tons of supports all throughout the world. And people want to be just like you. How to be, for those younger generation, younger players, just to be like you?
How to be Pagu?
What could you suggest them to be at the same level as what you are doing right at the moment?
So the important factor is you either win or you learn, right? Whenever you lose, you just try to fix the mistake, try to make it better, fix some, let's say, communication, draft. There's always something you can do better, right? As long as you just keep improving over a long time, let's say, then you're going to be as strong or maybe better than me, who knows?
I mean, that's a perfect message. I mean, don't let the emotions get over the strategies. I mean, stay cool, stay calm, and then move on. But again, thank you so much for being with us. Great one. I mean, it's never the last tournament.
Thank you once again for your
one.
time, and we appreciate you so much. And good luck to you guys next tournaments. And thank you very much for coming here and just being nice. I mean, I mean it. That was Pagu from Team Aurora Gaming. Once again, thank you very much, Pagu. You can leave, and thank you once again for making this, giving us the interview. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. That was Pagu from Aurora right there. Great performance himself and also the full team. We are having the highlights right up on the screen right now. Let's go through the game once again, and because this is going to be this highlight is practically the last thing that we're going to see today for Aurora Gaming, because now we're going to be moving to the finals up next. What do you think about the last game? Let's look at it once more. This is 8th minute. We can see Aurora had a lead with 2 kills, and of course almost, I would say, 3k difference in the goals, right?
Yeah, I could agree with you.
Yeah.
Like I said to Pagu earlier, I personally was surprised seeing 2-0 from the Aurora game to Selangor, because once again, Selangor is the team that they actually lost to, right? Selangor is the team that won 2-0, and I thought it would be a very challenging game for Aurora Gaming, especially after devastating loss from the yesterday.
Yeah.
But I mean, today they're fresh. Today they're completely different, as he was saying earlier, right? They changed the draft against the Selangor, and also they changed, like, they had whatever idea they had, TNZ asking his hero, and he's getting his hero and making sure the team is getting those kills for TNZ, making sure his game is enabled to make sure that he can do whatever he would like to do on his game.
That's true.
And one more thing before I give you for a word, it's like Pago and Rosa again, once again, 10 assists, 8 assists, making sure the team is getting those kills. I mean, Sigibom always also getting this amazing triple kill at the late stage of the game. I mean, just incredible performance overall from the whole Aurora Gaming.
I mean, great performance. We got the stats on the screen, just like Steel said, as we can see a lot of assists. I mean, assists are as important as the kills for a team overall. So, great performance. Let's not forget, Selangor also did put up a good fight. But unfortunately, as Steelwork always says, there can be only one winner after a game. So, it is what it is. But a great performance by both the teams. At the end of the day, Aurora Gaming took the third place. We can see Sigibom with 6 kills. Pagu, Rosa, TNZ, and Luna, everyone played their roles really well. And TNZ with 6 assists and 3 kills. Good performances. And look at Rosa, 10 assists. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, as always, I take a look at Rosa. I mean, this time Luna as well. But whenever I take a look at the scoreboards, I see Rosa and Pago are always on top of the assist, whereas the TNZ is like machine, unstoppable machine, with the 10 kills, 17, 18 kills, and sometimes getting less than 5 kills. And surprisingly, and when we get to see that, it's not that normal, I would say. But what is normal is our general partner, which is Freedom. We'd like to appreciate Freedom very much because you guys are hosting and sponsoring this event. Without you, this all beautiful event would have not been happened, and we just appreciate you so much, so that you making this tournament possible.
Yeah. I mean, the first map we saw TNZ playing with Hirara, really good performance. And when it came to the second map drafting, I mean, actually SRG grabbed the Hirara. So I was like, TNZ, okay, what they're gonna go for? And the TNZ came up with a really big surprise, the Barman. But I mean, they did it. They did it. Whatever they got in their hand, they did. They took the third prize. We got the stats of Luna and Cram up there on the screen. As you can see, I mean, great performance both the teams. I mean, nevertheless, we are damage taken has a slight difference, not much, right?
Yeah, damage and hero damage and damage taken is not that much difference, but the KDA is a lot of difference. We can see 11-0 to 1-0 for the Karam, and Luna has 11-0. I mean, he has a abnormous amount of assists and he has a little bit of kills, but he's been also helping make sure that Sigubom and that TNZ have their good games and making sure that he'll be in the back end along with Rosa and along with with the Pago.
Very true, and let's not forget Sven. Big shout out to Sven for being one of the partners. I mean, they're doing something really cool. They're gifting all the finalists of Games of the Future. Today is literally the last day, so we are seeing a lot of finals today, and everybody gets something really good in terms of the audio equipments from Sven. So big shout out to Sven for doing this incredible stuff of gifting the players with something. So it's everybody walks out with something. Thank you so much. And the MVP is right on the screen. Sigibam once again. I mean, he's I don't know if it's the 4th MVP in the last 3 days. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, Sigibam is always on the top. I don't reckon TNZ that much, but Sigibam is always there because he's always taking that initiative, taking those moments of being making sure TNZ have a great game. And I mean, we see 70% of kill participation, 6 kills and 3 assists, almost 900 of GPM, and overall, like, a beautiful triple kill at the end of the game that was made by him.
Yeah. I mean, great game, great players. I mean, great performances by everyone for the 3rd place. But at the end of the day, Aurora takes it. So we leave it at that. But this is going to be next up. We're going to be having the finals up next very soon. We're gonna be waiting for that. Everyone's waiting for that. But yeah, let's also look at next up. We got Bigatron and ONIC up next. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, before that, I would like to mention about our another partners, the Results Integrations, and we'd like to appreciate them for making sure that our events are being clean and smooth, and we'd like to appreciate them so much so. And moving forward, like you were mentioning before, you were saying about the next team.
Yeah.
But let's hold on into it. Let's acknowledge a little bit more of the team Selangor Red Giants.
Yeah.
I mean, they pulled it through. They had a rough game against ONIC, and the second round they're facing off another monsters. Let's put it that way. They're playing against Aurora Gaming, which was actually really challenging for them. Surprisingly, I thought it was going to be 3 maps. I thought actually Selangor is going to win because they won in the group stage, and they won in the group stage very confidently. They got a 2-0 from Aurora.
Yeah.
So,
Great game, I should say. Both the playing teams, I mean, they've been playing against really big giants so far, both the teams, and then they fought their way up to this semi-finals and then to the final day, but for the third place, and Aurora, of course, grabbed it. And we are all waiting for the big game. And what's special about the grand finals is, I mean, apart from we've been having best of 3 so far, and now we are in for a treat because that's going to be a best of 5 coming up, which means we're going to be possibly having 5 games. We cannot really guarantee that. It depends on the performances. And also looking at ONIC, I mean, they've been unbeatable so far. They are going non-stop so far up until even the semi-finals, because semi-finals they grabbed it clean at 2-0 again. I thought that's going to be a third game, but nope, they were like, no, we are not losing in this tournament, and we are yet to find out if they're going to have a lose for the upcoming finals.
100%. I mean, as you were saying, as I was saying earlier, the team of ONIC, they haven't been undefeatable for entire tournament. I'm very, if I would be in under Bigatron by Vitality shoes, I would be very not scared, but I would acknowledge their because this is the team that they have been there always, and I mean they are defending the defending champions again, and we'll definitely see how they do. And making sure, I would like to mention to you guys our official website for the tournament, which is astana2026.gofuture.games. Make sure to check it out and check all the announcements, everything that to keep in track of with our beautiful Game of the Future tournament.
Of course.
Moving forward, I mean, Team Selangor.
Yeah.
We got Uni before. Yesterday, he was saying that he would be excited and to see anyone, but sadly, I see they couldn't do well. I mean, against the team Aurora Gaming, but Aurora Gaming, they looked fantastic for the entire series.
They did indeed. I mean, let's take a quick look at what the performances yesterday at the semifinals by ONIC and, of course, Bigatron. They both came up to the finals now. ONIC had as we said before, it had a 2-0 win yesterday against DFYG, I would say. And we are yet to find out what's going to happen up next. But just before that, let's take a look at the teams. And we have a cool video to showcase the teams and get to know them better. Let's take a look.
Here we are at the Games of the Future, coming to you live with the freshest and most exclusive interview material. We had asked our Mobile Legends Bang Bang finalists about their previous matches, experience with the tournament, and their feelings about how everything is going so far. Selangor Red Giants, ONIC, Aurora Gaming, and Bigatron by Vitality made it to the semi-finals. And now we will ask the two teams about their thoughts. Let's take a closer look. What was your key moment of the match?
I think the key from our draft, I think. Yeah.
Did today's game go according to your plan?
Yeah, it's according to our plan from the strategy that we want to play and our hero also. Yeah, it's according to our plan.
What motivates you during high-pressure moments?
On the second game, because on the early game we struggle a little bit, but yeah, we still make it.
What did you learn from today's match?
The things that I can learn, maybe on the first game I got picked off at the early game. I think I can learn that I can respect my enemy a little bit more.
What can you say to your fans?
For my fans, thank you for supporting us, and hope you guys can still supporting us till the grand final.
How does this victory feel to you?
It feels nice, and we're still looking forward to our matches tomorrow.
What was the key moment of this match?
I think Kara's Granger. My team is Granger, Kara.
What was the biggest challenge of the game?
The biggest challenge was we didn't expect some heroes of our enemy, and it actually surprised us in the early game.
Is there anything you want to say to your fans?
Thank you so much for supporting us, and I hope you guys still support
you. We wish you all the luck in this tournament.
And that was an interesting video to get to know the teams better. For the next one, we got the ONIC versus Bigatron by Vitality. Two great teams, great performances so far in the last few days. But we're going to be taking a look at what went so far in Games of the Future for MLBV to get to know what actually happened leading up to the finals. We got the brackets up on the screen right now, and let's take a look what's been happening so far. We had the quarterfinals the other day, and 4 matches, and we have each one of them with the scores as well. We're gonna lead it up to the finals. The first game was SRG versus Foot Esports, and that was again one of those games with only 2-0. We didn't get to the third game for that one. Great performances by SRG again. They managed to all the way to get to the semi-finals for sure. And we're gonna take a look at the games, and then we have the quarterfinals. Other than that, ONIC versus DFYG, and Falcon versus Aurora, and Bigatron versus Pro Esports. I mean, all of the teams, I should say, put up a great performance. And it's been great to see how these teams win, advancing each stage and play them towards their dream trophy of Games of the Future. And after that, we're gonna go the semifinals. We had yesterday semifinals, great performances. I mean, as usual, I think we've been seeing the pattern as you see the brackets.
Yeah.
The first 2 games went 2-0. And then it comes to a 2-1, right?
Yeah, you're talking about the quarterfinals, right?
Yeah, I mean, even when you're looking at semifinals yesterday, the same pattern actually happened. The first game went 2-0, and then we got 2-1. What are your thoughts on the previous games so far?
The previous games, I would like to pinpoint on Food Esports. I mean, who actually won. Who stood out Toto against Team Spirit,
Yeah.
right? And that was first an upset day because day one, how it started, because the Food Esports, they eliminated the current champions,
Yeah.
from the previous tournament, which is Team Spirit. And then that was following up the game that we remember. It was DFYJ playing versus Team Vamos, and it was also convincing, interesting match. 2 different regions are facing each other, and Team Vamos actually, unfortunately, were eliminated from that game, and they were moving forward. But we're looking at the Team SRG Food Esports, actually 2-0 here. As soon as Food Esports, they eliminated the champions, they couldn't stand against the Team SRG. Let's take a look at the game itself. I mean, what an incredible game from Team Selangor. Red Giants over there, they've been dominating all game, like with the Uni, and the combination with Uni and Melissa.
Yep. I mean, they had that that combo as we were mentioning before. I mean, Innocent and Yoms with the Melissa and of course Harley. Great performances. We didn't see that coming initially, but then it turned out to be a pattern. As you can see it on the highlights, the previous game versus Foot Esports and Selangor Red Giants in the quarterfinals. It went all the way towards Selangor Red Giants. As you can see, around 12th minute mark, we were still at around 8 kill differences, and also we had, I mean, I wouldn't say much difference in the goal, but we still had around 7k difference for the goals, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw how they were taking the incredible stomp. Let's be real here, 17-6 for Selangor Red Giants, and they just keep pressuring the map from the Food Esports, and the Food Esports, unfortunately, they couldn't fight into those monsters, Selangor Red Giants. I mean, let's be real, Selangor Red Giants is a team who advanced as the Group 1 winner, like from the Group C actually, and they were the team who actually won the Aurora Gaming at the group stage, so therefore they were favorites for the match, and due to experience, due to the draft, so let's put it that way, they just outmaneuvered and outplayed the Food Esports at the game 1, and now we're seeing game 2 here. Again, kind of same thing. What I see here, in minute 6, there's 5 heroes for the team of Red Selangor, and they just keep non-stop pushing them out.
Yeah, and Kazoo, I mean, what a performance by Kazoo in those games. I mean, great performance, Kazoo, and also Blobfest actually did a good performance towards the early game for both the games, I should say. We had Saiki here on the desk. We had a chat with him as well after this game. But this was another sweep by Selangor Red Giants after that first win, and then they went to grab the second one as well, making sure there is no third chance for Foot Esports to prove them. But we should say, we should acknowledge both the teams for putting up a really good fight for both the games, and that was a clean 2-0 for Selangor Red Giants in the quarterfinals. And then soon after that we went to the next one, which was ONIC and DFYG. I mean, we don't have to say much about ONIC, right? I mean, they're the finalists. They've been unstoppable. They've been going on and on with nobody being able to stop them. I mean, everybody's been putting a great fight, challenging them, but most of the games, I think we saw them turning around the game completely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, up next we're gonna see some highlights from the quarterfinals between DFYG and ONIC. Again, another 2-0 by ONIC.
Yeah, I mean, another 2-0 for Team ONIC. Unfortunately, the Yanfeng Yao guy have left us. I mean, they were incredibly promising after their day number 1 when they played against Team Vamos, and now they're facing off of the current, like the last year's champion, and currently they're the grand finals Team ONIC. It just was so hard for them, even though we see how they're fighting toe-to-toe, and they were like 2K advantage, but it wasn't that far advantage, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It was relatively close to each other. I mean, honestly, the Yao guy extremely fall in love me personally for their gameplay and the way how they draft accordingly and very, how to say, very confidently on those heroes. And unfortunately, yes, they have been eliminated by the previous champions currently that they're standing and defending their title for the reason. And yeah, it was another 2-0 as you were saying earlier.
Yeah, I mean, this was around 11th minute. We had a 6-kill lead and of course a almost 5k of gold advantage for ONIC right there. And great performance by Kelra as well. I mean, Kelra and Kyrie's been smashing that game up, leading to the second one. I think this was more of a one-sided game for ONIC, but the second one, DFYG did put up a fight initially. And I think around the late stages, there was this Lord Steal. I think this was the point, yeah. The Lord Steal by Kyrie, this was really smart. And after that, the game actually shifted onto the other side. As you can see, it was a almost 7-kill difference lead for DFYG, which ONIC then came back and then turned the whole streak around the other way around.
I mean, that was just overall such a hard game for Team ONIC. First time that we've seen Tikiri at this tournament. However, they even pulled that through. Jianfei Yao guy couldn't finish their dominance in the early game. And yeah, as you were mentioning, the Kyrie and Kelra, they just played phenomenally. I mean, the two core players, they were doing it so great. I mean, Ludpi and the Sanji on the other hand, they were doing it so great. As we were having Kelra and Kyrie yesterday, they were mentioning that the team communication goes through Keyboy and Sanji, but they were giggling about it, so we don't really know what's the giggle all about, but it definitely was something interesting and something that we could anchor for, let's put it that way.
Of course, I mean, there could be inside jokes that they have. We never know. We never get to know because it's their fun. So, I mean, it's been amazing how we saw different teams performing, but this all comes to a huge shout out to Freedom for making all this happen. And we are on the final day, and this has been amazing so far, and we are pretty sure the finals are going to be amazing as well. I mean, we cannot forget Freedom for bringing this MLBB and presenting this to us in the Games of the Future 2026 here in Astana. And we are really excited to see how the brackets actually moved. The next on the quarterfinals were Falcons versus Aurora, and this one and the next game actually went to a 2-1 score.
Yeah. Let's focus on this game. This game was actually really close to each other. I mean, Falcons and Aurora Gaming, they were so close to each other, how they just played initially, and the fact they were so close. I do remember how the Team Falcons were screaming out their tongues out at this arena at the fans desk. They were like the people who are being coaches, managers, who were cheering so much so for their team. And we see the minute 15, nobody's taken their throne yet, but there's constant fighting, and the ending is for Aurora's favor.
Yeah, I mean, Aurora did sweep the first one. But again, as Pagu just said, when he came up on the desk, Falcon did put up a really good fight, because the first game was taken by Aurora, and then they moved to the second one where Falcons actually got the second one. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, Aurora actually took it. TNZ again, as always, a consistent good performance in the team for Aurora Gaming. And let's not forget the others as well, like Sigibom, Luna, Rosa, and Pagu. I mean, they've been setting up kills for everybody. So it's more of a team game, of course, and that really paid off in their performances and results. And great performance. And as you can see, the second game went a little to the other side. Team Falcons actually booted up. They strapped their boots. They were like
that was
on
pretty
it.
quick game to be fair from that entire series. Minute 11, they're taking the throne out, and now it's here. We're at the game number 3. I do remember this team fight that was very close to each other. The team fight on mid is always the base for. The base level for the MLBB. People are fighting constantly and making sure they are getting. They're fighting for every inch of on the map, and they're fighting and constantly applying the pressure. I mean, Falcons, on the other hand, they couldn't do anything on the game number 3. I mean, they early, but they managed to come back here at minute 25. We're seeing there's not a single game that hits minute 30 mark. But this is the first game that was by far the longest map for the entire tournament. And once again, that was Team Falcon versus Team Aurora Gaming, and they were very close to each other.
Yeah, I mean, almost 27-minute third game, and that was a proper third game, I would say. I mean, after the first one, the second one, and the third decider, which actually great performance by Aurora, but Falcon did put up a fight right there. And I think this was around the second game where TNZ actually went a little bit slow with the performance, but I mean, it's just one game.
But his team is covered him up and covered them well. That's why they were here at getting the third place here at the wonderful Jack Arena here at the Games of the Future.
Yes, I mean, that was Falcon versus Aurora we just saw there, and then we moved to the next game for quarterfinals.
Vitality versus Pro. I mean, Vitality. Bigatron by Vitality versus Pro. This team was, this fight was also very close to each other.
I mean, 2-1 again. This was the last match for the quarterfinals, by the way, and we have the highlights up on the screen. Pro Esports versus Bigatron right there, and Pro actually started really well at the start of the first game. This again, as we said, it ended up going 3 maps for this one. I mean, the final game of the day that actually went 3 maps. We actually love seeing 3 maps, I believe. The audience
100%.
actually love 3 maps.
Tell me who doesn't, Heidi. Tell me who doesn't. People are getting the tickets here at the Jack Arena at the Game of the Future here in beautiful country of Kazakhstan, making sure they get to see this wonderful event here at the Live Arena. And of course, who doesn't want to see all 3 maps with the longer games, with the sweat, blood, and everything there. I mean, now we see there's a fight on the Lord in minute 13, and this game was initially 6-5. It was very close to each other. You couldn't tell who is winning, who is leading. You couldn't tell anything about that. And then game number 1 was a couple of fights you take here and there, and then we see the advantage is coming back for Bigatron by Vitality.
Yeah, again, this was another long game, more than 20 minutes for the first game between Pro Esports and Bigatron. I think we only had a few number of games which went more than 20 minutes, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Pretty much the games were over around minute 10 to 15, I would say.
Yeah.
The average. I saw the stats over the other day. It was 35 games approximately ended around minute 10 to 15, and there was a couple, like a single digit were like 20 minutes plus.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this was again another 3-map game right there. The first map, that was 10-15, and then that was very close score, I would say. And then game 2, it had ended up with a huge lead for Pro Esports. Took the second game, whereas the third one was taken again by Bigatron, making their spot guaranteed for the semifinals for the next day, which was yesterday. I mean, as you can see the score, by 11 minutes we had Pro Esports with 2 kills and Bigatron with more than almost 11 kills lead right there. And even if you look at the gold, that's almost like 10k gold lead for
it is a 10k lead, and it's just the way well drafted, well planned, well executed from the team of Bigatron by Vitality. And I mean, heads up to them, they were also losing to Pro Esports, and they were 1-0, 1-0, and then now we see them winning and coming back against Pro Esports, then facing off against the Aurora Gaming. And now they are here at the grand finals.
I mean, big day. They made it to the big day, the big final day. So, and of course, when we talk about the finals, you really don't want to miss this happening. And also the other disciplines that's happening in Phygital Games of the Future 2026. Make sure you check out the website, phygital-plus.com. You can stream all of our games, all of the disciplines that's happening here at Phygital Games of the Future 2026 here in Astana. Big shout out to them. And make sure you check that out. You don't want to miss the final games of this season because there's no other chance after this one. Today's the final day. And as we said about the brackets, then after the quarterfinals, we moved to the semifinals, which was yesterday. And yesterday was quite a day for the games. And the pattern actually repeated yesterday again, 2-0 and then 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, now we see ONIC against Selangor Red Giants. We just witnessed to see this beautiful match yesterday, and ONIC convincingly they won 2-0. I thought it's going to be a close match again. Once again, I was thinking Selangor Red Giants could do and surprise the defending title champions, but they didn't. Because do you know why, Heidi? Because they are the current champions of the last year, and now they are here to do the same thing and defend their title. So therefore, now they will be playing at the grand finals. Well, nonetheless, let's focus on the game number 1 here, ONIC versus Team Selangor Red Giants. I mean, we see how applying pressure is ONIC and making sure they're taking over their map and making sure they're going to take the towers and making sure they get everything that they can get for Team ONIC.
Yeah, I think this was a tough fight, I mean tough game, because as you can see the scores were running almost equal for at least up until 12th minute, and after that ONIC style, which is actually the ONIC style these days, right? I mean, they, even though they are behind or even equal to the opponent, after around 10 minutes they're just like rushing to the final stage of the games and grabbing the game by the neck and they're taking it home. This has been what they've been doing, and as you can see, that was a wipeout right there. And here is a second game again taken by ONIC, and here again, I mean, SRG really did put up a fight yesterday.
They did.
Yeah,
they did. That's why I would like to acknowledge them, because the amount of pressure they've experienced throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah,
it was challenging teams that they were facing off, and I mean, now we see ONIC at the grand finals.
Yep. I mean, ONIC's been non-stop so far. As you can see, even by around 8th minute, this was very close game. But again, we are used to seeing ONIC turning around the table after around 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, that's where the opponent gets to be scary, like where the ONIC is taking the game to. Even when they have a huge lead, the opponents have a huge lead, even by 10 minutes. You cannot exactly guarantee when you're playing against ONIC, because it can turn the other way around very quickly, and ONIC is really good at that. We saw that so far in all the games. This was the second one again, swept by ONIC one more time, and this game actually went slightly longer than the average.
Yeah, it went longer. It was close fight for Selangor Red Giants, but unfortunately, when you're fighting against beasts, it's just really, really difficult. I understand them so much.
Yeah. I mean, that was a great game by ONIC right there, and SRG as well. I mean, they put up themselves against the champions. So, I mean, both are really great teams. But at the end, ONIC took it. They continue in their unloss of a journey. 0 fails, 0 losses, only wins so far, which is crazy for a team in a tournament.
100%. And for $1 million.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's even from the semifinals, no loss. Like, they've been going 2-0, as we just saw that. And then there was only one semifinals left, which was Aurora versus Bigatron, which actually Bigatron took it, as we know now, leading to the finals, which is going to happen in a few minutes. But we'll be taking a look at the semifinals in a bit, how they performed, because we are just refreshing the whole thing that went yesterday, so that we have a context of what actually happened yesterday leading up to the finals, which is coming right up next. But let's take a look at Aurora versus Bigatron by Vitality, which again went to 3 maps in the yesterday, and that was what's decided. Bigatron took the finals. Here's the first one by around 9th minute. Bigatron was still 3. I mean, 4 kills less than Aurora Gaming, and Aurora really fought for that, because Aurora was really hoping to get into the finals, to repeat the finals again.
They were expecting to play against the team of ONIC, but unfortunately they have failed to do so. But nonetheless, I would like to appreciate Aurora Gaming for winning their game 1 on against the Bigatron by Vitality, but that was not enough.
Yes, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to get 2 if it comes to a point where 1-1. And this was also one of those performances by Bigatron, really good performance, but tight. Aurora actually gave them a challenge right there for this one. As you can see, around 10 minutes, we were nearing 10 minutes, and Bigatron had a slight lead right there, but it wasn't enough to make sure, but they went right into the base and took the base down, took the crystal down, where the first game ended right there. And this was, Iman actually did play really nice in that game. I mean, all the team members, nevertheless, I mean, we are not disregarding what the team members did, but
you know,
coach.
I want to mention one more thing.
Yep.
They picked Novaria. They picked Novaria twice for the team of Bigatron Vitality. So we see Novaria here at the game number 2. So they picked that hero Novaria, and they're gonna pick the same way on Novaria for the game number 2. So Marina is gonna play Novaria here, and they actually won because of Novaria.
Yeah, and also this was the game. I mean, the third game. That's when we actually saw the surprise pick Mia by Bigatron. I mean, nobody saw that coming. We could feel the surprise in the audience here in the arena. Everybody went like, "Wow, what's happening?"
They were shocked, definitely. They were definitely shocked, but who wasn't shocked? It was Bigatron by Vitality, because they knew that they want to go this hero specifically, and Iman was making sure that he's been practicing that hero on his streams and making sure he's comfortable to play in this tournament. And
that's true. I mean, like this was a tough fight. If you look at that, this was another long game that we had for 18th, 19th minute, and still they were at just one kill lead, which is actually interesting to see. But they had a really good, I mean, slight difference in the gold advantage as well. So that was again another 2-1 favoring the Bigatron, which actually leads us all to the much awaited grand finals today, coming right up next. We've been waiting for this. Everyone's been waiting for this. Here is one final look at what's been happening so far leading up to the grand finals. We had the quarterfinals, semi-finals. Now we're here a couple of seconds or minutes leading to the finals. We are about to know who's going to take it. If ONIC is going to keep their trophy, if ONIC is going to keep the whole championship with them, or they're going to need to fight for this. And also, again, as we mentioned, it's a best of 5 that we are talking about, not best of 3. So this is going to be quite some time until we decide who's going to take the championship home.
Definitely, but do you think, realistically speaking, do you think BTR, Bigatron by Vitality, have any chance against them?
No, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, we are yet to find out. But yeah, let's take a look at an interesting video for the broadcast, and I will come right after that one. Just as promised, we are right back after that cool video. I mean, let's not forget this team that have put the effort right in to bring all these into a good fruition right up to the screens, of course, for the broadcast. I mean, you are seeing a lot of stuff on your screens. It wouldn't be possible with all these broadcast teams. You just watch the hard work that they've been putting in for all these days. And let's not forget, this starts quite some time before even the tournament started. I mean, this is a work of a very long time and a very big team behind this. I mean, we are talking about 8 disciplines for Digital Games for the future. And each discipline's got a huge team behind it. I mean, big shout out for them for making all this happen. And of course, let's not forget the official partner for Freedom for bringing MLBB right into this. And you can get all these details, all the details for all the matches and the teams and the schedules, everything in one place. Go to astana2026.gofuture.games. You have it on your screen. Do not miss to check that out. And that's going to be our official website. You have everything up there. But yeah, I mean, let's not forget the team behind this, right? I mean, you are seeing both of us here. That's the only thing that you're seeing, but there is a huge team behind this. And we have seen the hard work, right?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Heidi, for letting us know about this. But yeah, I'd like to acknowledge the background team, the broadcast team, that they're all doing this hard work. Without them, you guys couldn't see us, couldn't hear us. And just a shout out for the great videos, the great interviews, making sure everything runs out smooth and everything goes well. And meanwhile, we're seeing here beautiful people all around are coming in to Jacques Arena here in beautiful Astana to prepare for the grand final of ONIC versus Team Bigatron by Vitality. People are coming more and more. Now we expect to get the full arena here in beautiful city of Astana, and anytime soon the game will be started quite soon.
Of course, as the Steelborko said, I mean, the venue is packed. I mean, we haven't seen this crowd so far. But of course, I mean, it makes sense. It's the final match. It's the grand finals. And we all been waiting to see what's going to happen up next in the best of 5 that's about to start in a few minutes. We have the teams coming out right behind us. You're going to be seeing that any second from now. The energy is high here in the arena. Here is the ONIC team. Here are the finalists. And possibly 50% chance for them to get the trophy. I mean, let's be real. Everybody's got equal chances. We have Ludwig, Kyrie, Sands, Keyboy, and of course, Bel Kelra. I mean, we are seeing the finalists for this year. And Shogun, Nenail, Morino, Finn, and Iman for their. We are a few seconds away from starting, Steelborko.
Yeah, like we got Shogun, we got Iman here at the podcast, and they were saying that they would like to fight anybody, and they actually made it to the grand final. So people were expecting it's going to be Aurora versus team of ONIC, but no, it isn't. There's no copy paste. It's a different grand final, and we got to experience a great game. And people are getting slowly ready now, and we're actually getting ready to see our grand finals here in beautiful Jacques Arena. And we'd like to give our awards to our casters. Take it away, gentlemen.
Harmony between worlds rests on a fragile balance. Legends of the Great Step tell of the sun-headed man who helped maintaining the connection between the worlds for centuries. But sometimes, the very nature of existence disrupts the natural order of things. When the ancient power left the sun-headed man, the balance shifted.
Attention. Massive energy surge detected.
The energy within the sun-headed man's artifact has awakened.
So, the Chosen Ones are already there?
Newbies without a guide. Then it's time to meet them. Someone's got to get them up to speed.
Look what my robot can do.
Not now. I'm playing.
In search of those destined to restore the lost harmony, the energy split into 3 parts.
Hey, I'm one of the guardians of balance between the worlds. When the ancient power awakened in Kazakhstan, it chose you. You're the ones who can restore the sun-headed man's power and bring the worlds back into harmony. Guess even ancient powers can surprise you. Looks like the squad's finally complete. But until the sun-headed man is fully charged, the two worlds will keep drifting apart. So no pressure, but we're counting on you.
And so began the story of the new heroes. Ahead of them lay the greatest challenge of all, the games of the future in Astana.
Here we are, Grand Finals for the Games of the Future 2026. It's ONIC going up against BTR, both from Indonesia, and both have faced each other in a Grand Finals match before. The last time that they met, it was BTR that got the best of ONIC. But this time, a lot of players, analysts, and viewers out there think that ONIC Esports will take this one. Your casters, Wolf and Naisu. Naisu, who do you think has the upper hand in this Grand Final?
Oh man, the upper hand, that's a tough one. Luckily, it's a best of 5. Man, I wish it was a best of 7. You know, that's kind of what we're used to seeing for these Grand Finals, but hey, we can't all get what we want. So we're gonna get a best of 5. I hope we get 5 games for this. I do have to go ahead and say that ONIC has really, I feel like, adjusted really well to the current meta. Again, we talk about the meta that's developed over the past couple months. It's kind of changed here and there. There's been some crazy picks, the Mias, the Hanabis, the Ballmans, everything else. But I will say that ONIC, I feel like, could get the upper hand in this. But BTR has showed us, man. Like, BTR has showed us some amazing things. I think now, even if you're ONIC and you're, you know, wondering, oh, how do we play against the potential for Emon to just take a Mia? Or like, again, who's going to get the Hirata pick? Because both junglers can play it amazingly, you know? Or who's going to go ahead and grab the Rafaela or the Matilda now that we're seeing more of that. And both these teams love the Barrett's pick as well. I think that's another standout thing that you're going to have to fight for here. because it's just there's so many power picks, and these two teams know each other so well. And now they know the meta so well because they've all just, everybody's been going through all these international runs, right? And now it comes down to this. So if I had to absolutely choose Wolf, I think I would lean a little bit more now for ONIC.
Okay. And there's a lot of science, a lot of mathematics that can prove that that's the case. And I'm already just convinced that ONIC has built themselves or trained in the past few days in a way that they have allowed their players to have so many options in actually getting into the metagame, right? Because we saw how good they were with assassins, with fighters in the gold lane. They can now use, apparently, the supporting heroes for Keyboy once again, when Keyboy was known to be a hero a player that likes to play around the catch type heroes, but now you can actually see him pick up the Matilda in specific scenarios. So yeah, a lot of good stuff that we can expect from the teams right now, but of course ONIC has really figured it out.
I think I think if I had to say, like, again, answering it of who I think has the upper hand in the meta, it'd be ONIC. But if I had to, like, be a little maybe biased towards someone, I love seeing Emon shine on Bigatron by Vitality, man. Again, for the lore back out there, Emon at one point was a Raider, right? He was an RSG Raider. It was my favorite team back then. Of course, they have Coach Panda there behind them, working kind of with them too. And I just think that, I would like to see also a different champion for Games of the Future, because if ONIC gets it again, they got it in a sweep last time against Aurora Gaming, but now I don't think we see the sweep here. I think this is at least, I hope at least we get the 4 games come through. Maybe we get the full 5-game series. If we don't, just please not a sweep. But Bigatron by Vitality gonna be on that blue side, man. I think this is where we start to see the standard stuff, more of the standard stuff and the kind of traditional trades going on. I think we might even see a contest for Selena come through, where they might give 1 game to Moreno, honestly, to get the Selena, because I think some teams are starting to really figure that out too.
Yeah, and I guess the thing that you have to consider here for BTR is, what is their priority? Are they more focused on the Eman hero? Because there was a time where they do prioritize Eman's hero, but it felt like yesterday they can actually put it, lower priority with Mia, especially in a matchup where Kelra and Eman is going to be at the same stage. It's the gold standard versus the gold standard stopper, so that will be an interesting match, to say the least. When you said that Eman used to be a Raider, one of his rivals back then was Kelra when he was playing for Omega back then. So there's a long history between these two. So do you prioritize Eman, or do you deprioritize Eman now so that you make sure that the gold lane to gold lane matchup is in your favor? So that's a question that I would love to see BTR navigate around.
I guess I'll answer that right now. I think you don't have to really prioritize either of the gold laners unless the Melissa's open. And if the Melissa's open, it's most likely going to go to the hands of Emon. That's kind of what we've seen in the draft patterns, but at the same time, both gold laners, Kelra and Emon, who know each other very well, like, again, they're the ones who have been bringing up these more unique picks too, these more unique heroes that can work. So I think you just kind of let that be there, let that be the case. You prioritize elsewhere. And I think the biggest priority with these two teams, obviously between Kyrie and Nile, you want to go ahead and lock in your jungler, of course, which is the Hirata trade. That's where we're going to go here, unless it's, of course, banned in this last red side ban, because you could just grab it for Nile. Same thing, man. Fanny. Both of them like to play the Fanny. So I think this might be, again, one of those things where maybe a Fanny comes up. I mean, by the way, again, over the course of days, every single time we've seen ONIC play, there has been a ton of ONIC fans out there. So, and I think everybody's really happy too, by the way, to see Kyrie up on the interviews with our boys up there, Heidi and Ilias, because he spoke great English, man. I mean, I think for a lot of people, they're like, dang, Kyrie's English has improved so much.
Yeah, and I guess it's also... All right, what they're called, the vitality.
I don't know. I just said the vitality. The robots, the red robots.
The robots, yeah. I know that's why I was okay. The vitality. Okay,
I saw vitality, and I'm like the vitality.
Anyways, Kyrie with his confidence, great in English, good-looking guy, perfect. Come on, like one of the best junglers out there. Here's the thing. I went live earlier today. And here's this is a legit story. I went live earlier around 2 p.m. and you know that. You saw me, right? You saw me go live.
Okay.
Carl TZ, the GOAT, popped in my chat. I asked him, who is the best jungler right now? And he said, Kyrie, without a doubt.
Oh, man. Without a doubt.
Yes.
And that came from the GOAT.
That came from the GOAT.
Oh, man. You know what? I have to agree, man. I agree with everything you pointed out. You know, basically perfect, right? But let's see. He's going to get the Hirata, the first try at it. So this is, I think every single time that hero pops up now, we've all just know, okay, Sky Piercer, Hirata. Game 1 plan for the opposing team. Don't let them get stacks, especially fully stacked on the Sky Piercer, because it literally seems unfair, man. If a Hirata is fully stacked, I don't know. It just feels unfair the way that happens, you know? So the answer seems to be the Fanny. Grab a Fanny. You get a power pick over here, too, for Shogun. You grab yourself the Barretts. You have some decent Paquito damage. I didn't know if they were going to flex that, by the way, until the Fanny came through, because I was thinking, okay, is Paquito possibly going to the jungle like we've seen him, you know, or is he going to go in the gold lane, possibly? But now we know.
Okay, I was actually surprised that ONIC let go of the Barretts, but at the same time, the Beric is also a good hero, and they pair it up with this Uranus. So there's not much lockdown for ONIC, whereas for BTR, you already have the Paquito Barretts. So this is like two schools of just meta picks.
Yeah.
You see the Paquito, the Barretts combined together. Now it's with a Fanny, which has been a development in the meta game here in Games of the Future, where the Fanny now answers the Hirara. Well, this was also evident in MSA in the last day of MSA, I would say, last 2 days, where the Fanny is now being picked against the Hirara. And that's also true for this time, ONIC picking up 2 tanky dudes with the Hirara. So this is like meta versus meta, and we're going to be slammed by the best heroes that we have in available in the meta game.
Hey. Get slammed, you know. So but basically at this point too, they're going to go ahead and hone in on these mid lane options for the maestro himself, Moreno. I think, you know, so far from what we've seen between of course in the mid lane, there's some variety there, whether it's Sans, whether it's Moreno. The way they want to go ahead and approach this is, how do you supplement your assassin junglers the best to your ability? Selena was one of them that most people would think for Moreno. That's why it's banned out. On the flip side, the Ruby is banned out mainly for the potential that Kelra picks it up to put it in the gold lane, you know, because again, if you go and just supplement the Sorara to do her thing, maneuver around everyone. We just saw this in the hands of TNZ, by the way, right? Where you get fully stacked and you have these multiple ways of kind of moving around your tanky dudes, but also your crowd control. And then your own kind of iframes. That's why it feels so unfair. So take out a Ruby. I wonder if they'll take out one more. Both of those roam options too, the Matilda and the Rafaela, will be banned out though. So that is not going to be available for Finn. And Finn has been one of the better performing Matildas so far throughout Games of the Future.
Oh yeah. Okay, so going to be the Ruby as the ban. Probably another, I guess another catch. Or another gold lane, in fact. Maybe Harith or Moskov, the ban here for BTR. And although Ruby is typically played in the roam role before, it's now getting played in the EXP as well as the gold lane. More so in the gold lane now, which is also a good hero to pair up with the Hirara. So that's probably why the Ruby has been banned by BTR. So instead of doubling down on the Kelra bans, they just banned the Vexana, which is a hero that Sans showed us that they can actually play. I think the Valentina is the best pick here for Suns, but there is also some merit of picking up a Lilia, for example, or Selena. No, it's not available.
Selena banned out, yeah. So other than that, well, the Vexana actually, we were talking about this even a couple days ago, where it's just kind of risen in pick value, stock value.
Yeah.
But Bigatron by Vitality is going to ban that out. So now, if you are ONIC, you just pick up your mid now. Yeah, they'll do that. Louis Yi. You pick up the Louis Yi. This was banned out a couple times, but then it was shown in the last series, and there's, you know, that you can't discredit the diversion, man. The diversion. Yeah. Little send your full team if you need to go ahead and back things up, or disengage at the right time. This can also really control the Fanny push, right? That's kind of what we've seen before, where Fanny's just off on the other side of the map doing her own thing. Well, now you can get there faster and potentially even surprise a side lane push from Nile.
Yeah. Okay. Fanny, they will round this up with maybe a Farsa. Is Farsa even good? Or do they go Novaria themselves? I think the Novaria is one of the answers to Louis from a long time ago, and it, I think, makes sense here. They do pick it up. So they put in the Gatot Catch afterwards. So I like how Bigatron has responded, and then they already have 3 good meta hero picks. They close it out with a Gatot Catch, which is more of a stabilizer for their lane. It's a reliable response to the Louis, because you have a lot of distance that you can cover. In case there will be a diversion, an Avatar of the Guardian can be there to save them. So that's a really good way to approach this draft against ONIC. I really like the 5 heroes that they built now. ONIC, how will they close this out? They need some sort of reach and some sort of burst. There's the reach, there's the burst.
I was gonna say, is this the reach though? She's got like the shortest range in the game, but I mean, you're shredding. You're shredding through at least the Barretts and the Gattacacha, you know? And I think in this way too, you're at least kind of protected. You're kind of covered here. If you need help in that lane, again, that's why that Louis is picked up. It's really strong to just go ahead and, you know, ultimate down to that gold lane if you need to.
Yeah. And the reason why I say there is, well, all right, the burst, there is no question about that when it comes to like the carry. The carry, you just output so much damage in a short period of time. So they got that covered already. When I say that they needed that they can get reach out of the carry, is that you're looking at the heroes that are melee from the side of BTR. So it's not like you have to reach too far when you're playing this carry up against the heroes of BTR. When you pick up the Malefic Gun, then you're already okay. The only problem, though, that I'm gonna say about ONIC, and this also pertains to reach, is that there is no legitimate threat to the Novaria. That's why I felt like the Novaria was a good last pick for BTR. I also predicted that it will be the case. If you're looking at this Moreno Novaria, this guy is gonna have the easiest game out of all of the people in the lobby right now, because there's not much reach.
Well, let's find out. We're jumping into it. It's game 1 here in this best of 5 grand final. Games of the Future 2026. Will ONIC end up being champions once again? Or will Bigatron by Vitality make something happen here? Already in the mid lane, a little bit of action. Of course, poking back and forth. There's only so much that can be done. I feel like early game with the Novaria, but still, no battle spells actually going to be expended just yet.
Pretty chill about it. It'll be curious how ONIC will, how BTR will utilize this lineup that is really front-facing against ONIC. Apart from the Novaria, everybody wants to dive in front of ONIC. And ONIC, they do have 2 tanky dudes, but they only have 1 tool to really hold down BTR, and that is this Wrath of the Dryad, which means that Sans will have a lot of responsibilities with a duality being procced. Granted, the Wrath of the Dryad is a good tool to allow the Sans to continuously proc the duality passive, but it is going to be a difficult task for Sans for sure.
See if he's able to do it. This first turtle's up. Both gold laners going to go ahead and chill in the gold lane while this is just going to be a 4v4. Niall's going to go ahead and grab his buff, but they might just go for this. A little bit of a taunt. Unbreakable on Keyboy. He's got to go ahead and back off, disengage. Alutfi, he's got the Consecrate. They got control of this first turtle, so ONIC might be able to secure this. Let's see if they make it happen. Kyrie able to get the retribution off, but they're going to go for the fight anyway. And Loopy trying to get away. He's going to get chased down, and they will take him with the Daytona's welcome. Oh, good duality, but here comes Nile to the back line. He's got people lined up, but it's just not enough. And now the diversion going to be used. Already a couple kills for ONIC. They're looking for Nile. And Sands will get him with the double.
No way. No way Suns just did just that. I mean, 2-0-1 for this Louis. Granted, BTR, I think that was a mistake coming out from Shogun. Utilizing the Daytona's welcome and then spitting out the Uranus towards the members of ONIC. I think he wanted to maximize the stun that you get out of it, or maybe he just outright misplaced his spit afterwards. But that allowed ONIC to refresh with Loot P. And of course, the Bats staying in front for a long time means that the duality, dispersion, the damage output of Suns will be just really high because you're just constantly throwing away your orbs, and the rotation that you get with the second skill of the Louis. Combine that together, your backlines are getting ricocheted so much that they end up just being blown away by Suns, which is literally what happened in there. And then the teleport afterwards, my God, Louis coming out from Suns, that guy's scary.
I think the Louis is going to just be a pickup that we see more and more, maybe even unless some major changes happen between now and the next tournaments, of course, but it's working out really well, especially when you have the Wrath of the Dryad from the Velrek. It just makes things happen. Look at this. They're going for the purple buff. They want to put pressure on Nile's buff, and they'll do just that. Notice too, Kyrie on the Hirara, he locked in his Fury Hammer. Then he's starting to just go with the Sky Piercer because he wants to start building stacks early on, I believe. And that's all possible. You know, you got an early kill on, you got momentum in your favor. You're 3,000 gold ahead at this point. And now the second turtle is up. Kyrie, go ahead and start this one up. Emon is here though, so now gold laners will be a part of this fight. Everybody rotating down for this objective. Half health on the turtle, unbreakable. Oh, Daytona's welcome. Gonna be charged in. Shogun taking quite a bit of damage. Is it the Avatar of the Guardian? Actually, that's quite a bit of damage too as Shogun falls. Nile gets the turtle. He's gonna be able to go ahead and do a bit of damage before he gets out, but Bigatron by Vitality might have got the turtle, but they lost two.
I see the vision now for BTR. They will go for the aggressive move on Shogun with the Daytona's welcome that was going to be quickly followed up by the Avatar of the Guardian. Not literally quickly, but it will be layered properly wherein after the Daytona's welcome, you already have that Avatar of the Guardian with extra knockup and taunt afterwards. So it's the chain stun between the Barons as well as they cannot catch as they go in bottom lane.
Okay, Keyboy unfortunately going to die there, but it made sense what ONIC wanted to do. They give a kill over, and they didn't overcommit because I thought Kyrie with a couple stacks might have tried to do something, but they just kind of pull off there. That turret's almost down. That's one of the main things that ONIC wanted to go ahead and do, give Kelra that advantage. You can already see the advantage building up, though, too, in the jungle, man. Kyrie, again, a couple levels ahead right now of Nile. He's been taking his buffs. He's about to hit that level 10, and he continues to do so. Just as he does, he hits level 10. So that gives him, again, an advantage that he can work with into the next turtle. But so far, Nile at least has been able to swing in, do a little bit. Threat like this on Sands, even doing more than a little bit as he takes him out. Good play there. I didn't know if he'd be able to get him that fast, but he does.
Well, with the help of his teammates and, of course, the fact that you have a lot of damage coming out from Moreno, especially if that Astral Echo is already laid up, that allowed for BTR to burst down Suns and shut him down. Has been a problem for them for quite a while now. 6 minutes in, there's a lead that ONIC have already built, and it's 15 seconds before the next turtle. Lutpi already clearing the mid, whereas Keyboy, he wants to position aggressively as well up top. Maybe help his teammate Kelra here push before they prep for the turtle.
Yeah, so they got that push going in. Last turtle of the game is up. Still a couple thousand gold ahead right now is ONIC. Kyrie has control of this turtle. We'll see if they do anything, but Nile's just going to go down to the bot. They're going to trade it for a turret for the turtle. So they go for that. Diversion going to be used. This is what we were talking about, though. They send themselves down towards this bottom side, but that turret will be pushed. So this is about as good as it gets for Bigatron by Vitality right now. The Daytona's welcome into the turret. Astral Echo combo. The Avatar of the Guardian will be able to catch him, even with a revitalized. Keyboy falls. The tree down again, but now in mid lane, Kyrie's there. They get the duality proc. He wants to get the stack here on Shogun. Does he actually have it? He doesn't. He has to get away. Too much of a threat there under the turret.
See the pressure now being applied by ONIC, and because of that they have a 2,000 gold lead, but it seems like BTR are not letting up. They're already able to push down the bottom lane and are about to push up top. Eman is moving really well. Comes to these map movements, died already twice, but at least makes up for it by split pushing and still gaining a lot of gold. He is unfortunately behind Kelra, his counterpart, but at least he's making something happen for BTR right now. Doesn't erase the fact that ONIC is leading by 2,000 and they have allowed Kelra with 1-0-1 as they go for Kyrie the dodge!
Oh, he tried to dodge. What a play from Niall and Emon. Able to make a move. Niall trying to get away. A flicker from Sans. They'll recoup it though as they also take down Emon. And that kill went over to Kyrie, so, but he's dead. But, you know, the turret did the job there for him.
Yeah. Eventually. I'm going to be pushing in the middle. Great kill out to Kyrie. A great shutdown overall coming out from BTR. 22 seconds before the Lord, they needed to make a play. Unfortunately for Niall, is still trailing behind a lot from his opposition right now. So there's still a lot that needs to be done here by the side of BTR for them to come back to this game. But then again, Keyboy already positioned himself into the so-called new bush. Will be spotted out by Finn for now.
Okay. Lord is up. Let's see some of the focus here. Let's see what ONIC decides to do. They can play the macro just because they have the Louis in tow. Both junglers wanting to grab their purple buffs, getting situated for this Lord fight. Oh, diversion. Diversion used here, setting them up top. Astral Echo being dropped down. They're just going to go for the fight anyway. Kyrie be able to dodge that with the iframe. Niall's going to have to go back to base, so this is an open opportunity for ONIC to go ahead and start up this Lord. Under half health, Shogun gives the information. Finn's going to pop the conceal. They're going to try to delay this so that Niall can get here in time, but it's already gone. Lord secured by ONIC. And now Niall jumping into the backside, looking for a possible kill. He'll find Sans. A pickup there they were looking for, and now Niall again cabling away. Avatar of the Guardian, Finn trying to grab their attention. Akela takes a shot with the shatter. He's going to back off, but they're going to force a fight anyway. And now it's ONIC trying to get away, but Daytona's welcome to spin him up into the team. And now Keyboy and Loopy fall. The front line of ONIC goes down.
Oh, great team fighting coming out from BTR. They have erased the lead that ONIC was able to build, and it didn't matter if ONIC was able to blitz the Lord away from them. Their team fighting was great. And at that time, Kera didn't have the flicker, so he didn't feel that confident to command his team into a fight. And Lutpi as well as Keyboy just overstayed their welcome. And BTR utilizing Shogun again, this time offensively. I feel like for BTR, if they play like this, if they are the ones to jump the gun onto ONIC, there's little to nothing that ONIC can do. Again, their lineup is more of a dive composition, and with the vision that they get from Reno, they are well informed about what ONIC will want to do. Look at that ultimate catching 4. The Astral Echo finding out what ONIC wanted to do, and that already meant that Niall was able to skitter through and sneak a purple buff.
Oh, wow. Talk about a turnaround so far. Niall able to make something happen here again. Just able to shred through, you know, who you'd think is the tankiest or one of the tankiest, but so far both Lutby and Keyboy had a really difficult time at some, you know, fronting up on this front side for ONIC. Might have to be in one of those cases where now you lean towards Kelra here if you're ONIC to go ahead, and he should have his power spike. I mean, that Kelra's carry should be online, but it's more so of these fights, the way they're unfolding. They're just kind of getting outplayed by Bigatron by Vitality.
Sure. This makes it really difficult now for ONIC. With the composition that Vitality has, this is very oppressive. You really have to find a way to get to the Navaria, which we said that we'll have a free game essentially in this game, and it has been so. Moreno is 2-0-4. There's not much that can contest him. And then eventually Shogun will be so tanky that he's no longer threatened by the damage of ONIC. Well, Kelra is always going to be a threat, but you are tanky enough that you expose Kelra for far too long. So there has to be a creative way of ONIC finding an angle to eventually take out BTR. Otherwise, it's going to be easier for BTR to maneuver into the fights. They're already going for the diversion play, but they're not going to find anyone.
Well, they'll find Kyrie's buff anyway. So he's not going to have that. The Lord comes up. Emon will make his way slowly down here. The rest of the team already set up, but you can see in this, man, the Star Shatters, even on Loopy, already do a decent chunk of damage to the health bars. Moreno dropping down the Astral Echo. Extra hitboxes being extended here too. Now Keyboy, he's got to be careful because we've already seen him shredded down so quickly on this Belric, especially with a Fanny flying around. Emon spotting the Loopy here. They might try to make a play instead of the Lord. We're in now ONIC on the back front. They got to go ahead. Keyboy, oh man, a quarter of the health.
Yeah. Whew, and Niall's already working on the Regis time. He's low. But be careful. Kyrie forced to pop one of the iframes. You can see how menacing Eman is right now with this Paquito. He's going to be able to burst down the members of ONIC. And then if you pair that up with Moreno's damage output and the constant Astral Echo in the face of ONIC, it's going to be more difficult.
Avatar the Guardian on the defense already used. ONIC comes in with a diversion. And after that push up top by Niall, that wave's going to be managed. Now, they're going to fight for this Lord. Half health on it. Finn charging up the Unbreakable. Goes in with a taunt. They're going to come down for Keyboy. They get him out. Kyrie, he's down too. Make it another as Sans is able to pick up Shogun. So far, a big trade across the board. But now Iman and Moreno trying to keep things together while Niall's also on the hunt here. He's quite low, but he'll be able to secure the Lord. Bigatron by Vitality comes out with a win.
And all they had to do was to find a man advantage. It was already enough for them to take out the members of ONIC. This time again, ONIC just can't position themselves properly. They tried to go for a cheeky diversion play, which was, with all due fairness, ambitious but almost got there. Almost taking out the outplay coming out from Suns to survive against Nael. But that was just for BTR to secure that turret because it will be just the Luyi to defend. It wasn't successful in doing so. ONIC now have lost control of the game as BTR are leading by 3,000. And all it took was for them to punish ONIC when ONIC tried to go for a 5v5 against them.
Let's see if they can do it here. Lord slowly making its way. Good push in the mid and top as well. Daytona's welcome. Throwing into the wall. Chopping him up, throwing him down. Keyboy gonna pop the Revitalize. They want to hold down this front side. Niall's just gonna make his way up top. He wants to take out the base turret as Lord goes down and dealt with, but good response from Kyrie. He won't let it happen. Diversion. Where are they gonna go? Into the jungle. They're looking to cut things off. They're gonna go right to this one. And now Finn gets taken out. But Emon, is he gonna try to do this? Oh no, he's fully stacked up. He's gotta get out of enemy lines. He's waiting patiently. It's only Loopy.
Yeah, for now, it's not a big threat. Information is important. Loopy gonna be seeing Eman get away from there. Good fight coming up from ONIC. Go for the -1, but it's not nearly enough. Niall wants a piece of this purple buff. They're trying to go for the exchange, but it's Kyrie who secures it.
Thanks for the leash, says Kyrie. He's basically, yeah, do a little damage with the buff. Finally, Kyrie gets his purple. Gonna go ahead and grab his orange next. Yeah. Really nothing that they really want to focus on until that Lord comes up in about a minute, but if maybe if they can get a kill here. Maybe if they can get a kill, make something happen. Again, Lord's not gonna be up for 40.
Yeah. It's gonna be a long time for both teams to recover this one. Kyrie going in for the Blade of Despair as his 5th full item in this game. Loopy actually went for the Sky Guardian helmet, which I wanted to talk about earlier, which is interesting because you generally want resistance rather than raw HP as well as regeneration because you have plenty of that anyways. But I guess because of the amount of poke that BTR is throwing at him, it feels like, okay, maybe during long team fights, during Lord dances, maybe I can get out of the fight, regen up by myself, then try to fight another day. But now in comes the Lord, spawned at 17 minutes. ONIC will defend their bottom lane. A little bit of long lane setup out there coming out from Loot B. Diversion gonna be used. And BTR just...
They're gonna go for Shogun. They're gonna go right for Shogun. He didn't have the stacks. And now he's taken out. They're gonna go and dissipate. Kelra's got the room to work with here, but no! Nile goes in! Moreno will cap out the kill even with a wind of nature. So BTR turns it around to fall. They're gonna be looking for more. They're chasing down Kyrie. Moreno might be able to get a shot. Nile's gonna go ahead and join in. Cable's not gonna connect on that one. That's not where he wanted, but he gets Loot B anyway. BTR will win that fight. And it was one that ONIC started for Shogun. Nile jumping in, he takes out Keyboy like cutting down a tree. And now it's only Kyrie to watch the base turret down. He's got to try to dodge, but he can't. They get wiped out. And BTR will take game one.
Both teams getting what they want when it comes to the draft, but eventually Vitality. When we said that their draft looks so complete with that last pick of catch out with that Novaria, it looked very cohesive and they look really good. For the first few minutes, it was ONIC controlling it, but when the power spike happened for side of BTR, they just can't be stopped. That's just game number 1, however, of this best of 5 series. Plenty of MLBB to be played all throughout the day. We're gonna be talking about that match pretty soon, but for now, gonna be hopping into a break.
Үлкен әр қадамы жаңа жетістікке жетелейтін марафон. Біз осы жолды сіздермен бірге 10 жылдан бері жүріп келеміз. Тимур Құлыбаевтың халық қайырымдылық қоры.
Центр кредит банкымен сіз қарапайым және заманауи шешімдердің ортасындасыз. Нық сеніммен жаңа мүмкіндіктер ашып, тексерілген сапаға сеніңіз. BCCKZ мүмкіндіктерді кеңейтіңіз.
What a phenomenal, sensational moment, you guys. We just witnessed. We just watched how ONIC has lost the first time ever throughout this tournament of Game of the Future, the first map ever. And it's in the Grand Finals against Bigatron by Vitality. What a surprise, you guys.
I would say historical moment for Games of the Future for ONIC, because this is the first ever time that ONIC lost to a team. Like Bigatron, they took the game. I mean, that was very close game, I would say, really close. Good fight, very good fight. This is what we want to see, actually. I mean, proper finals. Like,
I mean, just like like you said, the game was an intense, close game. An intense, close game is our beloved general partner who is sponsoring this wonderful tournament, beautiful tournament, which is Freedom. We'd like to appreciate Freedom for making this beautiful event, such as Game of the Future here in beautiful Astana, making possible. Thank you very much, Freedom, for doing that. Moving forward, I mean, that's a surprise for the fans, for casters, for me, for everybody.
Wow, what a game. I mean, just what we wanted to see as a first game of the 5, possibly 5, we still don't know. But I think this is going to be a 5 because off the bat, the first game, ONIC has lost the one, but I mean, they might come back again, we can't say. But this is good. I mean, this is good, actually. Now it's more of an unpredictability, right? If the ONIC actually won, they would have actually go on as undefeated team. And it's more predictable. Like if they're going like that, then maybe it's gonna continue like that. But what a game! We want to see this. This is what we want. But we got the highlights up on the screen. I mean, we have ONIC fans here all around the arena, and they've been getting ready. Both the teams been really excited. But I'm so thrilled to see how this is gonna turn out.
We had another also fans there rooting for Bigatron by Vitality. Sorry for interrupting you, but there is a fans also for Iman per se. There is a fans of ONIC and they're fans of Bigatron by Vitality. We see the highlights here. I mean, the fight, the game itself looked until minute 17. Correct me if I'm wrong. Until the minute 17 on the second, until the second Evolved Lord was even.
Yeah. I mean, we've been trying so hard to keep up with the game because a lot's been happening on the map. As you can see on the highlights, we are at around 5th minute mark, and ONIC had a clear lead by then. I mean, initially, I believe around 3k gold advantage was there, but then as it went through, Bigatron actually stepped up their performance and then, you know, swept it at the end. I mean, this was a tough fight for both of the teams, but great performance for both of the teams. As you can see, it went towards the 10th minute, and ONIC has still had a 3-kill lead and a bit of gold, but not much, to be honest. But the fights, man, I mean, I'm trying so hard to keep it up with that.
I agree with you, absolutely, Heidi. I have one more thing to tell before we remember what I said pre-draft. I said Bigatron by Vitality is the team who won Aurora Gaming on a 1-0.
Yeah.
And twice they picked a hero called Novaria.
Yeah.
And that Novaria actually helped them to win the second and the third game against Team Aurora game.
Yeah.
Right?
And now we
see, yeah, now it happened again. That's what I see. Like, I saw that coming in.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that ONIC wasn't really paying much respect for this more news Novaria, because he's been playing it 2 games in a row. Yesterday against Team Aurora Gaming, and he got a victory, and because of that now he's playing at the Grand Finals and actually winning Team ONIC. It's just a surprising moment from here. And also I'd like to mention, I mean, Barret, the heroes that I was saying earlier, has been picked and being one of the best heroes here at the Game of the Future. According to statistics and stuff, I mean, just an incredible game overall.
Of course, I think around the 17th minute we saw a tie. So I really thought ONIC's gonna come back again, just how they used to before in every game that they played so far. But then Bigatron was like, oh, they went for it. They really went for it. I mean, this is gonna be a tough grand finals that we're gonna be having here at the arena. We got the stats up on the screen. 4 kills in lead by Bigatron against ONIC, and this is only the first game now. This is going to be interesting to see how this goes.
I mean, I would be very surprised if Bigatron by Vitality keep the momentum and keep it going, and then maybe get the second game again. I mean, that would be very horrendous if they're going to do that. We see the scoreboard here. Meanwhile, I mean, Keyboy and Lutpi couldn't do much against the pressure of the team Bigatron by Vitality over there. We see Morinu was 408 on the Novaria. As I was saying earlier, the Novaria draft pick, the hero, has made the problems for Team Aurora Gaming, and now it's making a problem for the team of ONIC.
We are yet to see if they're going to come back with the same pick for the next game as well. We don't know yet. The next draft and bans, possibly they're going to ban the Novara overall. We never know. But before that, before we talk about the next one, I mean, make sure you go check out Yandex Go. You got the bar up on the screen. Scan it, download the app, because that's gonna make your daily life easy. You got everything in one app. Make sure you check that out. Thanks for Yandex Go for being a partner for this one, because we are having a great time here. First game, I'm so thrilled to see how this is gonna unfold. We got more stats coming up on the screen pretty soon. But if you initially, when it started, I mean, Kyrie started with the first blood, and then Sans went with a double kill soon after that. But yeah, we got the stats up. We got Kelra versus Iman on the screen now. How does that look, Steel?
For me, it does look exactly identical. From all our perspective, the gold is a little bit more towards the Iman, and a little bit damage more to the Iman, yes, but the same thing. Kill participation identical, damage taken, well, a bit of swing, but KDA is the same as Kelra, and for you guys to understand, Kelra is playing from the behind. They've been losing the game, whereas Iman was winning the game. So that's a little bit differences. But for me, the most notable player is definitely the guy who played on Novara, which is Moreno. That was an outstanding performance for me. And
there we go.
So the way I think the broadcast people think, and this is I think 75% of the kill participation over there, 600 GPM. I mean, 408, the guy is a GOAT, the guy is here to win a champion. And, you know, I'm so excited to see the team who are not scared of other team. And respect is another thing, but in terms of when it's a competition day, you gotta be a killer, right? Like the other people were saying, and now Bigatron by Vitality is making a surprise and sensation here, because this is the first time the map has been taking off of the team ONIC. And ONIC, if you guys are listening to me, you guys need to step up. I mean, you guys are here to defend your title and champions. And you guys were saying that you guys are here to make another run and you guys want to be a champions. All right, go for it.
Yes, I think we get to see how that's gonna turn out. But there was this moment initially when the Kyrie, I mean, during the draft phase, Kyrie went for Hirara, which he's good with. And also when Lutpi went to Uranus, which he was, I mean, he's used to playing that. We saw that in the last few days. He went for a couple of games with the Uranus. So I was more like, okay, this is going to be good. But then Novara came up with Moreno. So, I mean, this was a very tough game, I would say. I cannot really deny the fact that for both the teams, they fought really hard. And I think by the almost 5.5 minutes, I mean, Bigatron's turrets were almost down, I would say. But the way they pulled it off at the end, that was great. And then a few more things. I mean, there was around 8 minutes mark, they had a 3k gold advantage for ONIC, which is good. And of course, and then the whole game went in a different way. And 9:50, we had Kyrie taking the loadout. And then around 14th minute, I'd say ONIC, pretty much all the outer turrets were gone except for one on the upper lane, which was almost down, I would say. We can consider everything as gone, but by that point, I believe ONIC was pretty much, I mean, we were pretty much sure where the game was going unless they make a comeback. And I think after 14th minutes, Bigatron actually made an attempt to get to the base, but Kyrie somehow responded and took it back in control. But at the end of the day, I mean, they went for it. Bigatron went for it.
I mean, let's be real here. Nobody could have taken a single map from the team of ONIC, and Bigatron making a pull off from the pro esports. Then they're facing Aurora Gaming. They're losing 1-0 from both of the teams. They're coming back through on the second and third map, against both of the teams, and now they're playing at the grand finals here at beautiful Astana and taking a game off. First one from the ONIC. It's really sensational. I'm so hyped up, and I'd be happy to see them actually doing what's going to be happening forward. And my tongue is twisting now. It's just like I have so much emotion to express you guys how big this win is for the team of Bigatron by Vitality. And we'll be happy to see what's going to happen in the second game.
Of course, I mean, when it neared, I think the last few seconds just before the crystal was taken down, we saw ONIC going down like crazy. I mean, at the end, I think a few seconds just before the crystal was taken down, 3 of the players were gone. And then in a moment, that was only Kyrie left at the end. And by that time, we could see the cameras here in the arena looking at ONIC's teammates, where they were like, we are done. They were almost sure that this is done. I mean, it was clear. And they took out all of them, and then the crystal was gone in no time. But again, I mean, I believe that the moment that they got the turrets down, they realized the turrets are down. I mean, that was pretty clear. And also that was a big push for Bigatron to approach the crystal and get that done. But huge save with Kyrie. I mean, once he did save that crystal, but they couldn't hold up. Towards the end, Bigatron took the ONIC teammates, everybody down. And the last one was Kyrie, and once he's gone, I mean, that was a clear shot.
I mean, everybody's hyping up Kyrie. Kyrie is the GOAT. Kyrie div, Kyrie everything. We've seen the fans all over here in beautiful Astana, at Jack Arena, hyping up Kyrie. People were saying that Kyrie is the one player who actually can switch the swing of the game and make sure that ONIC will get a win out of the team, out of the really tough situation. But this time is different. This time is different because Kyrie couldn't do that because the teammates have been dead. and that was a perfect opportunity for people to go in and take that W from the ONIC.
That's true. I mean, it was only Kyrie left at the end. I mean, he couldn't do much. I mean, he cannot do much, to be honest, at that point. But again, I mean, great play by Bigatron. I mean, Moreno's Novara pick, and also Iman went with Paquito. I mean, great play by him as well. We cannot disregard anyone. But it is time for the next game. We are yet to find out what's going to happen. Let's move it to the gentlemen, Wolf and Niso. Take it away, gentlemen. It's game time.
It is indeed game time for both of the teams. It's ONIC going up against Bigatron, and BTR was able to scramble a game win against them. Well, it wasn't really a scramble as it looked hectic only at first, but the moment that they have found their groove, BTR were unstoppable. Naisu, game 1 went heavily in favor of BTR afterwards. What do you think are some changes here that needs to be done by ONIC for them to get back into their winning ways?
That's a great question. I think give something to Keyboy that, you know, maybe I don't want to say it's not Belric, right? Like Belric can work. He's been meta for a while, but maybe give something different to Keyboy. I think he dealt with too many early deaths just because there wasn't too much that they could do in game 1. Lootby as well, maybe draft for the Barretts for him instead of the Uranus. It looks like we might be going for the Hirara trade, of course, here again. But I don't know. I have to say that I think for Bigatron by Vitality, they just did an amazing job at getting themselves back into that game, because ONIC did control the early game. Like they were even into the mid game. You gotta remember, they were up like 2,000-3,000 gold. So it was one of those moments where ONIC was actually doing the right things, you know, like they were doing the right things until eventually. I think you also just have to put respect on what Moreno can do with these long-range heroes, man. Whether it's the Selena, whether it's now the Novaria, which is, it's been like his hero. I mean, there hasn't been many other people that have brought up the Novaria the way he has, and it's just, it's one of those things where he's star-shattering people, and if he's not star-shattering and hitting those long shots like he does with the Abyssal Arrow, he's just providing enough information with the Astral Echo, you know? So I think it just got to a point where for ONIC it was really hard to actually fight Bigatron by Vitality because they were never fully healthy, you know? Like someone had already taken some damage somewhere.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's the draft as well that made it work for Moreno. I feel like it's not just what BTR were able to achieve with Moreno himself, but of course this is a massive team effort, including the drafting that allowed for BTR to win that. Now, what will be their first pick? There still is the Barretts. I feel like the Barretts is a good hero to first pick, but this is Uranus that they first pick with. Well, there's no Paquito, there is Barretts available, there was the Hirara, but on top of it all, it will be the Uranus apparently. Interesting first pick here from BTR.
Are they just going to trade the Barretts and the Belric going to ONIC now, or? Because I almost expected, at least over here, for Bigatron by Vitality to take something else. But again, Shogun did play if I recall correctly, there was one match where he just played the Uranus like 3 games in a row. I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was the Pro Esports match that they had. They went 3 games with, and Shogun only played the Uranus. So, you know, this is a very comfort pick that they can build up off and gives them a lot to do. It is going to be a trade, though. So you've got the Matilda and the Hirara going over. Once again, this time Kyrie will be on that Hirara, and I think this Matilda does help activate Keyboy a little more, right? He's going to be able to go ahead and do a lot more than what he felt like he could do on a Belric, who your main job literally is to just post up that Wrath of Dryad with a flicker or not. You know, now with the Matilda, there's so much more you can take on.
Yeah, and they take it away from BTR as well, which BTR would really appreciate. Imagine playing the Uranus with the Matilda. There's just so much tankiness that could be found in there. So, do you now pick up the Belric for yourself as BTR? Do you get the composition that ONIC was able to had before? But no, they will prioritize the Varia. and then as well as taking this cloud for themselves. So maybe ONIC now will not pick up the Barretts, although it has good synergy with both the hero as well as the Matilda. Maybe just the presence of this Novaria is enough for them to not pick up that Barretts. But also it is available. Maybe now they're going to be looking for a dive. What if they pick up something like an Alice instead of the typical Barretts in the EXP lane? But that will be for later on. I think that right now you're more concerned about your Keller hero. Harith is available, so is Granger, heroes that will be able to pierce through this Uranus eventually.
I wonder if they just end up sitting on it. Yeah, because I was thinking Kelra can just play so many different things that you typically see ONIC kind of bank that and wait. Like, it's usually the Kelra pick that comes in last. So I was thinking Barretts too, although Alice would have been great. I think Barretts just because it's usually paired up with the Matilda, you know? Like, you just have so much of ways to go ahead and utilize your Daytona's Welcome, regardless of if it's by yourself in a flicker or then you now have a Matilda too to kind of help you. Obviously the shields that Matilda gives, plus when that Flask of the Oasis comes in, I think that makes a big difference in a lot of these fights, and that's why Matilda has been so, you know, valuable for a lot of these lineups. And you gotta think too, now that you know this is back-to-back games for Moreno and the Novaria, like, you've got to just respect that you essentially will not be seeing Moreno. Like, that's one thing I noticed about him, like, playing Novaria. Not only his accuracy, like, crazy, it's also just part of the fact that trying to find him, trying to get to him, it almost feels like it's too difficult of a task for ONIC to do, because his positioning on the Novaria is just really good. Obviously, that really helps because, you know, she can kind of go through walls and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things where, again, it provides so much vision. And there was a time, remember, when Novaria was like the go-to pick in the mid lane, and, you know, she's had this kind of resurgence back into the meta now.
And the reason why that is because it has good matchups into the most of the meta heroes that cannot reach her, and most importantly, it's also a good hero to contest the Melissa in case. We saw how much damage you can deal from long distance, and Melissa can just easily freely hit when there's a Novaria around because the damage output of the Novaria. But it's going to be the Nolan, and then Brody with probably a Granger ban here coming out from BTR. I'll be surprised if that's the case. It's a strong hero on its own, can actually match up. Oh, it's the Clint instead, I feel like, which is also a good option, all things considered. But I feel like with how ONIC is playing the Clint, as well as this Hirara, they probably are more into the Granger than the Clint. But we'll see. ONIC now will pick up their roamer. Oh, sorry, their mid laner.
Mid lane, yeah.
What is a good hero to play again? What if they go Xavier, right?
Range for range.
Range for range?
Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know if we're that crazy. Maybe... Oh, what? Does he just go... There's no ultimate you want to take here. You don't take Valentina here, right? If you're Sans. I mean, other than... Okay, I guess you do.
No, the Astral Echo is actually a good ultimate to copy, all things considered.
Which one?
The Astral Echo.
Astral Echo, I guess so, yeah. At least you have your own.
But
you gotta get to him, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta reach him.
That's why I was kind of second guessing it. Like, you gotta get to Moreno, you know? And the whole point was, that's so difficult to get to him.
Yeah. Let's see.
Last
What
two
are you
picks.
thinking now? Where are you thinking now, BTR?
All right, they still need their jungler and then their roam. So I think at this point, you know, you're against the Hirana, maybe just the Harley. That's probably the only other option we've really seen other than the Fanny come through. So they might get Rafaela Harley. Unless they do something different.
So this is
Hayabusa.
Rafaela with the Hayabusa. Usually not paired up together, but this is more of Rafaela plus this Uranus. This is Rome Rafaela, by the way. So
yeah.
Now there are a lot of problems now. You have to have a lot of like damage sources from your gold laner. What I mean is you're not ultimate dependent as the last choice here for ONIC. So maybe
what is that? The Sky Piercer.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I can't read the text,
right.
but that's a Sky Piercer though.
Seems like it. Yeah, I think Granger is the best option here for ONIC, or maybe Harith second as the second best option. But there's the Hayabusa as well. Okay, so they still pick up the Harith. Yeah, those are the only two options I feel like that will be good for ONIC. But already I like the composition that the BTR has built here.
Leave it to BTR to just do some weird things, you know? Like, we said this going into game one. It got them game one, and then now, yeah, I think this is interesting. Again, because you've got great tankiness up front in that front line. You've got a great ability to go ahead and revive, get yourself back into this game. We'll see if we are on Flying Clouds or not, or which map we're in once we get to this game, but I like what BTR is doing, man. And again, the Rafaela helps you even more because you can rotate very quickly. You can stun if you need to. The Hayabusa is really squishy, right? But now that you kind of have some ground to cover with your sustainability with the Rafaela, I think that's really great here. So, I don't know, man. I like what BTR has. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and lean towards BTR for this game too, Wolf. I think we might potentially see a 2-0 right now, but you guys, of course, if you guys are watching around the globe with us, you guys can let us know who you think has the upper hand in this. Let's jump into the game. It's game at 2 in this best of 5. Bigatron by Vitality up 1 in the series. Let's see if ONIC can equalize.
Already the setup here for BTR is good. It seems like whenever they play against ONIC, they transform and just know exactly what to do and deal with ONIC. ONIC has been so dominant all throughout this tournament, and it seems like it's BTR that has got their number. And that's also true with MPL Indonesia. Everybody was just dropping their games up against ONIC. ONIC are so dominant, but in comes BTR coming in, and they look like they are the better team against ONIC. It seems like we're feeling that again. Not unless ONIC decides otherwise. Not unless they do something really different right now for them to be able to show us something, some sort of fight against BTR, especially with this draft that they built. Gonna be starting with here in the middle.
Yeah, something along the lines of, I don't know, I think it's more of just ONIC finding that form of execution. You know, it's the team fights. Like, we already know that all these players are individually, you know, some of the best in their roles, and they had an amazing, you know, last meeting with the grand final that they had. Hold on, mid lane, first blood going over to Kyrie, but here's the return. Shadow kill going to be used. Revive comes through, and now it's Nile that falls. So that's not going to be worth for Bigatron by Vitality, and that's 2 kills in the hands of Kyrie.
Great start again for the side of ONIC. This time they've utilized Kyrie in an offensive manner before the 2-minute mark. They identified that if you are able to force out where Moreno is, this is a good opening for them, and they do have to reach.
Okay, they might be able to go ahead and just make something happen. They get the turtle. Now they're going to be looking for more. Shogun, tanky enough. Nile might just want to go ahead and grab his purple buff. Even though there's a lot of low health bars, never mind. He goes in. He's able to pick up Lootby. So that's 1 kill, but now ONIC, they know this. They're gonna put pressure on the mid, and out of the goal. Finn's gone. They're gonna be looking for more. BTR firing back, but now it's Kelra to get a kill. Man, ONIC looking for more, but they gotta keep Kyrie alive. This is the most action we've seen under 3 minutes in a while, man. That's
for sure.
That's insane. I think the entire game's the future.
Yeah, and that's 6 kills in what, 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Quick activation of Kelra as well. I really like how ONIC is doing it because now they're calling Kelra into the fights very early on, and he gets a kill. So never mind the fact that Claude versus Harith is more of a farming battle in that gold lane, that the only time that you actually will die in that lane is if you really mess up, or if there's an external effort from other players into that lane. But having Kelra in the middle is really good. Can they take out Sans? Yes, he can.
I thought they'd have enough shielding there from Keyboy, but Sans goes down anyway. So both junglers are having a hell of a start here, Wolf. You know, 3-1 on Nile, 3-0 on Kyrie. This is going to be the assassin showdown that we want to see.
Yeah. And we're going to be waiting for that to happen for Nile with 3-1 right now. But it seems like it's all about the targeting. The first time that they used this Hayabusa, it wasn't as impactful because the targeting wasn't that good. But if you see like Sans, for example, getting picked off in the middle, the timing was perfect for BTR. They are looking at the Hayabusa that's really scary, that can be activatable. Because apart from the healing coming out from the Matilda, there's not much that they can do against this Hayabusa.
Oh man, Kelra. I mean, the shadow kill's already used up, so Niall's not going to be able to find Kelra here, but Niall building up very quickly. This is very different from the Hayabusa game we saw him play against Pro Esports in the first game, where they actually lost that one. Right now, he's hit that kind of potential to just snowball, but opposing him is the Kyrie snowball. So you got two snowballs going down a hill right now. Oh, they're going to be looking for Niall, and they shut him down. And it goes to Kyrie, of all people, who's already got the Sky Piercer.
Cool. They will resurrect him, but what a play coming out from ONIC. As they now use their game sense to find where Niall will be. They secure a purple buff for themselves as well. They take it away from Niall, so that was a costly death for the Hayabusa. Not having... oh, does have the purple buff, but yeah, they're trying to invade as much as possible.
Kyrie has lived in his jungle.
Yep, for sure. And they're doing it again.
Oh, they're doing it again. They know his Retribution's down, so they're going to take the buff. And you can see, man, Kyrie's got an XP lead. Oh, they're going to re-engage. Shadow Kill going to be used on Sans. He's still going to be okay with the shields, though. And now the rest of the team join it. Both gold laners going at it. Blaze and Do It was already used. They're going to go for collapsing down on Niall. They'll take up, but whoa, what a shot from the Maestro Moreno. This is what we were worried about. If you're opposing this Novaria, they're going to go for more. Echo drops down. Keyboy trying to bob and weave. He has to burn the flicker, and he should be able to survive. He's got some shields, but hold on. Moreno's going to line one up, and also the gold lane. Kyrie's looking for Emon. Emon goes in, breaking the ankles, but Kyrie goes in to get another stack.
Oh, Kyrie is back 5-0-2. Game 1 was more of a warm-up game for him, so it seems that this time is actually showing his prowess as the assassin. Trying to outplay a lot of people out there in the bottom lane, eventually getting 2 kills for himself, 5-0-2. I would assume 3 or 4 stacks from the Sky Piercer. Going to be a really good start now for this Hirara coming out from ONIC. Now, they are just leading by 1,000 though, because BTR, with all due fairness, they are retaliating. And the kill onto Kelra coming out from the Maestro is good. So, ONIC cannot celebrate that yet, this game just yet, especially because BTR are showing their teeth now. They're showing that they can actually fight into this neutral objective.
Seems like they want to continue to fight here. Half health, last turn of the game. Will this be a 3-for-3 for ONIC? Moreno lining things up. Both Astro Echoes being used here. They're going to go for it. It goes to Kyrie, able to secure it. Shadow Kill going to be used. Into the Zaman Force they go. Now Luffy looking for an opening here too, but Kelra is able to take out the gold laner, Emon, from BTR. They're going to be going for Shogun too, as Sans picks one up for himself. Finn's going to burn the flicker, and ONIC, they're going to be happy with that little sidestep too. Here, potentially a re-engage. They just back off. Sounds very low. Threading the needle. Moreno going for the shot, but just not enough distance on there. And they'll take the tier 1 after the fight.
Yeah.
Oh, Kelra.
Over the dance. Win! 2 quick kills for Kelra. That's not a double, but he did take out Emon before that, which is going to be so good for ONIC. They are now gaining ground. 7 minutes and 40 seconds in. They lead by 3,000. They're feeding kills into Kelra, and most importantly, onto Kyrie. And already, there's a big change when it comes to the non-verbal cues. You're looking at the camera for ONIC. If you're looking at their camera, I mean, everybody's so happier. Every now, it's lighter now. The ambience around the ONIC side of the stage. And BTR, can they actually mount a comeback here? It's the War Access was the Hunter Strike only for Niall at this point.
Ooh, okay. This is still relatively close, it seems, based on the team fights. Now there's a gold lead for ONIC right now. You're going to be taking the purple buff, though. They continue to put pressure towards Niall. And now Kyrie, level 13. I know Niall's almost a level 11, but still, you're seeing, you know, this pressure on his buff, the pressures on his green camps. ONIC is able to go ahead and take what they can, but amidst this all, you know, they only have 2 turrets down. They're eventually going to get 3 here as Kelra knocks the top one off. But it looks like BTR wants to go ahead and open up the map a little bit themselves too before the Lord comes up. But they don't just get that turret just in time now. Oh, could this potentially be bad? Good coverage from Moreno, though.
Be setting up for this Lord this time, and the long lane has been pushed heavily in favor of ONIC. There are 5 members of ONIC around here. They're going to be waiting for the Novaria ultimate. So there's a lot of stuff that's not going in favor of BTR right now. So it seems like ONIC are just going to take this Lord away from them.
Yeah, this is a Lord that they control the domain over. They'll go ahead and grab themselves the Lord. Now ONIC can start to look to take down tier 2 turrets. I'm not sure if they're going to get to the base ones just yet, based off the way that BTR has been fighting. They can try to maintain what they can. Again, Emon might have to go ahead and utilize Blaze and do it here, but their clear is pretty good. And he's going to go ahead and push that top one up top, potentially deal with the Lord too. Actually, he's going to go back to base as tier 2 bottom side will be taken by ONIC. So now BTR on the defense. Nile, oh no, he's actually going to get stopped from recalling. He's going to be able to escape this, but Kairi is going to chase him down. Oh, he goes back. Let's go. Okay. He's going to go into the jungle, and now they're going to hunt him down. Niall's going to have some fancy footwork for this.
Oh, no.
He gains some space, but oh, Keyboy's going to chase him down anyway, utilizing the flicker, and he goes back to the shadow, but Niall's got nowhere to go after this. He's been hunted down. Let's see if he can take out some minions. He's going to buy a little bit more time for the rest of the team until he's eventually taken out by Kairi, and that's another stack for Kairi.
Yeah. With all the fairness, Niall actually showed some really good moves out there, using his quad shadow to eventually disjoint the circling eagle. But enough time for BTR to gather themselves and defend top, especially because there is no ONIC. There's not much ONIC heroes that to force this issue out, but no, they will still go for this ONIC.
Oh, Loopy falls. Shogun could be next here. They're going for it. Shogun, oh, barely surviving. BTR will be able to go ahead and defend. They maintain that top Holy Defense Shield. A shot on Kairi, but still, I think they're happy with that. Again, as I mentioned with that first Lord, they just want to go ahead and get the tier 2s down, potentially take out some base shields, but they don't get all of them. So I'd still say Bigatron by Vitality admits it all. I know they're 5,000 gold behind, but they're still holding on. What they're going to start playing into is now Emon's power spike. That's one of the main things. He's got the Purify, so part of what ONIC wants to do is get that, you know, pop that Purify, make something happen here. But even Niall's got to look for that window, right? That opening to go ahead and use that shadow kill to either follow through after the damage of the Blaze and do it maybe, or maybe vice versa on how they want to approach that. But let's see if BTR can still fight into this. They still have 30 seconds before that Lord comes up.
Yeah. Gonna be using the ultimate again, the Astral Echo to find 2 and maybe just poke Keyboy. Niall is, you know, utilizing his ultimate, a very ambitious one at that, although you can see the progress. Okay, the defense coming up from ONIC.
Shogun just standing there menacingly, saying, you guys got to go through me, basically. A lot of ultimates being expended, but now attention toward this buff to try to take it away. Kairi will be able to do that. So this is all part of the plan, I feel like, for ONIC.
Yeah, especially if they're forcing the Astral Echo out, right? So it will now be available, fortunately. Well, I guess Moreno knows exactly what the cooldown is, and he timed it perfectly for the alert to be up. So now they're ready. Hayabusa is going to be split pushing top 4. A little bit of defense on the long push, but ONIC feels like they can burst.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and fight for this Lord. It looks like they want to just give this one a go. BTR in space. Loopy quite low. He's going to guiding win on out. Now Niall jumping in with the shadow kill. They're looking for a kill. He's able to go ahead and proc the stack, taking out Loopy. Winter Crown going to be used by Kelra, but Kelra could be next, and he goes down too. And now ONIC falling apart in the Lord fight again as Keyboy and Kairi are trying to run away, but what a shot again from the Maestro, man. They have to get rid of this Novaria because that's going to be a Lord going to BTR.
Unbelievable coming out from BTR. Again, winning out of nowhere. They were down by so much. They've raised the lead by ONIC. They're now pushing. They're about to take the lead for themselves because only Kairi is left. And with the Rafaela, it means that longer team fights means that you will be top. It's going to be a difficult defense now for ONIC. And even if you eliminate one, the resurrection will be there. So Vitality, they are just taking everything away from ONIC right now.
So quick to turn that around, Wolf. Again, playing on the back foot. They dealt with the first Lord pushing it in their base, and then all of a sudden, Bigatron by Vitality now has control in this game. They took out one of the base turrets of ONIC. It's their turn to go ahead and take some green camps and resources from them. And they still have this Lord making its way down bot, looking to go in, crash into this bottom base turret while the wave up top works on the tier 2. They're going to force a fight anyway. Shadow Kill going to be used to get them low enough to get them to back off the turret as the turret falls. Now ONIC, they got to deal with this Lord. Half health on it. Wave's going to go ahead and push up top. Can they get more? Sans has to be careful. Half health. These procs and these star shatters are so deadly if you're ONIC. Right now, BTR might potentially make another go on that last base turret, lining it up with the Astral Echo. They're going to throw it down. Again, a Shadow Kill going to be used. They have to get enough space. Keyboy in trouble. Loopy going to go use the Daytona's Welcome, but a shot from Moreno is going to bring him low, and it's Loopy that falls. But they have to disengage. A BTR is happy with the base turrets down. Now Kyrie jumping in. Holy Baptism going to be used, but he's able to avoid it. And now it's just 5 full force for BTR. They've got a cannon minion and another wave pushing up top. They might want to end it here to get to a 2-0 lead right now in the series, but the waves are going to be cleared out as ONIC stays in it. Kelra dropping down the Zaman Force. They get a nice stun out with the circling eagle, but Kelra is gone. He's blasted down. Moreno lines up a shot on Sans. He has to go heal back up, but they're still going. Kyrie gets shut down in this mid wave. Should be enough. Loopy, he's got no stacks here. They're going to go for it anyway. An Echo drop down. A double for Iman, the man. And they're going to work on the crystal to take game 2.
The masters of the poke strategy, and with this sustain coming out from the Rafaela, and a lot of good stuff that you see from Nael as well as Moreno. And Eman eventually in the end, being get turned by Vitality, are able to take game number 2. We're going to be discussing how the sustain coming out from BTR was able to outgun ONIC in a snap of a finger. One Lord fight was all it took. That will be after this break. We'll see you guys after this.
Үлкен әр қадамы жаңа жетістікке жетелейтін марафон. Біз осы жолды сіздермен бірге 10 жылдан бері жүріп келеміз. Тимур Құлыбаевтың халық қайырымдылық қоры.
Центр кредит банкымен сіз қарапайым және заманауи шешімдердің ортасындасыз. Нық сеніммен жаңа мүмкіндіктер ашып, тексерілген сапаға сеніңіз. BCCKZ мүмкіндіктерді кеңейтіңіз.
And we're back here after a devastating loss once again from Team ONIC. What a surprise, guys. ONIC, if you guys hear me, wake up. Wake up.
I have no idea what's happening right now, because this is unlike anything that we have seen until this point for ONIC, right?
It's the first time they lost to Bigatron by Vitality. This is the second time now they're losing actual BO3, let's put it that way, to the Bigatron Vitality. I mean, guys, they won 2 games against Team Aurora yesterday, right? With a pick of Novaria. The hero has been, let's be real, it's not the most pickable hero at this tournament, but I mean, you guys are giving them, all right, maybe you guys have plan and you guys are giving them the first game, and then now you guys are risking, and then now you guys are losing to Novaria. Now it feels super bad to you guys. I mean, you guys are in a verge of elimination here. I mean, you guys are verge to get the second place if all you guys won. I mean, you guys need to step up. We'll be talking about this more. Let me appreciate one more thing. It's a Freedom. Freedom, thank you very much for sponsoring this event, and we can see how Bigatron is actually winning the ONIC here because of you guys. I appreciate you so much. Thank you very much, Freedom, for making this event and everything possible. Moving forward, now 2-0. Like, you guys are not banning. Like, you saw how Aurora lost to them when they were doing 1-0. Now they're 2-1. Aurora lost to them. All right. The first game you guys are giving Novaria. Okay, they lose. You guys lose. Second game is the same thing. I mean,
they are racing ahead, right? I mean, Bigatron's on a roll so far. I mean, we are yet to see. By any chance, if the next map goes to Bigatron again, I mean, we are done. We are pretty much done with the grand finals. We don't know yet. But great performance, I would say, by Moreno with Novaria. And, of course, Nanel also had put up some great fight right there. We got the highlights up on the screen. As you can see, this was a tough fight for both of them. But I don't know what went wrong with ONIC. Just as last one, I mean, the first blood went to Kyrie again at this time, and starting with a double kill, to be honest. And then I think it went pretty much head to head when the game went on. It was like they were catching up on each other as the game went on. But we are seeing the early games, as they said, it's 2-2. And at some point, I mean, ONIC had a lead of 5k gold, but that didn't help at the end, right?
Yeah. Also, I'd like to shout out for Shogun for playing a phenomenal game on Uranus. It's been clearly like really good play from for the whole team of the Bigatron by Vitality here. I mean, we saw the team fights were even all the time, and you couldn't tell exactly who's winning and who's not. It's been always close back and forth game. I'll give a respect to ONIC. They've been playing phenomenal as well. I mean, just to be fair, it's like 2 games in a row we see very tight games, but the end of the game, who's winning is Team Vitality. You guys are taking one bad fight and then it takes your towers down, your turrets down. Yeah. Completely, it just obliterates your all the turrets are down, and it's just so hard to do anything when all your buildings are getting exposed within milliseconds.
Yeah, of course. I mean, every time ONIC, as you can see on the highlights, every time ONIC grabs a kill, Bigatron has been chasing them down, and at this point, around 15 minutes there you go. I mean, Bigatron actually crossed the kill points right there, and of course the load strain helped as well. But there we go. I mean, as you can see now, 15 minutes, they did not have any turrets at all. No outer turrets, no base turrets. Everything's gone at this point.
There's nothing. There's just naked throne, and it's been being harassed right now by the team of Bigatron Vitality. I mean, the guys look humble. They look at their face. They're very serious and stuff. And now, I mean, team of ONIC as well.
So we have the stats up on the screen now. 17 kills against 12 kills. I mean, we had some in the middle around 5k lead as for the gold for ONIC, but that didn't help at the end. And as you can see, where is Moreno? There he is. 12 assists, man. Like crazy
12 assists. And just like, look at the Finn. He has a 17 assists. My man has participated in all team kills. And whereas in Kyrie, on the other hand, 6 kills, 1 death, and 4 assists there. I mean, what an awesome performance from Kyrie, but you can't really fight. What I wanted to say in the first game, game 1, when you were mentioning about the Kyrie. I mean, we say you can't fight you're a lion, but the lion can't fight 5 people at once. When you can't simply, because we're playing a team game. This is a team matter, and for you guys to do well, you need to trust your team, and you can't play only for one hero, and you have to have a good strategy for MMOs. And for that, we'll help you guys watching our all games at phygitalplus.com. There you can watch all the strategical games and make sure you get your strategies up just like us do. And thank you very much. Make sure to watch all the games, all the disciplines throughout the link down below. Moving forward, I mean, I didn't expect ONIC to be at 2-0, 0-2, and one step close to lose the finals.
There we go. We got the stats of Kyrie against Nanail right there, map 2.
Yeah.
And what are we looking at? I mean, the kill. I mean, it was interesting to see the last in the last map we had kill participation almost like 50-51.
Yeah.
I mean, that was interesting to see because it was not too polarizing as the previous games. Now we are seeing more of towards the 83-71. I mean, it's coming up. But I mean, Kyrie did his best. I mean, we can't say he sticked with Hirara for this one again.
He did well.
Yeah. I mean, Nanail, good performance as well, and the MVP, we are yet to find out who's going to be the MVP. It's going to be interesting to see. I have a huge feeling it's coming back again with Marino.
Yeah, it could be Marino, it could be the other guy with 100% the kill participating, his teammate. I mean, I would like to pinpoint on Kyrie, honestly, because Kyrie into Nanail, don't get me wrong, Nanail is a fantastic player, but Kyrie is playing from the losing opponent team, and he has one left, and he's making this all kills and all assists there, and in comparison we see he did more damage than the previous guy, and all the damage here. That's what I'm saying, Finn. 17 assists, what an absolute chat, what an absolute goat here. 100% kill participation. I reckon any 100%.
We haven't seen any, right?
We haven't seen. I don't remember we've seen 100% kill participation. Finn, what a chat, what an absolute legend. That's why you actually won the game, because you were playing amazing, and keep working like that, keep working like this, and maybe you get the champions right now. We'll get to see. I mean, you're one step close for getting a new champion.
Exactly. I mean, the next game is going to decide if you're going to even have more maps after that one, because if by any chance Bigatron actually managed to win the next one, I mean, that ends there. The whole MLBB championship ends there, and ONIC is not going to be taking the trophy away. So we still have to find out what happens, but just before that, I mean, let's give you a huge shout out for the fans, but let's watch a video of yourself. Let's take a look.
The atmosphere of the Phygital Games of the Future 2026 in Astana is not only about high-tech competitions, professional athletes, their feelings and emotions. It is also about many small parts which make sport what it is. Entertainment, bringing people together and sharing joy and sorrow with each other. The fans create a delicate ecosystem in which the strength of the athletes amplifies tenfold. And this is why we find it so important to ask, what makes our fans the way they are? Let's welcome the crowd of the Games of the Future. What do you think about the Games of the Future 2026?
So first time at Phygital Games, first time in Kazakhstan. Unbelievable. I didn't even know things like this existed, so I've been blown away. Very different.
The Games of the Future is the best opportunity to Kazakhstan and especially Astana to promote our city, our country to other people who travel for this event.
I think that the Games of the Future is it's a really nice opportunity to join the video games and the physical activity. So I think this could be the great opportunity to show to the young people how we can do activity also that we play video games. So I think I'm physiotherapist. I take care of professional e-sport player, and the physical is we need. So I think that is the perfect mix, the perfect match for the future of the video game.
Nice to hear that. What games have you already visited, and which ones did you like the most?
The Phygital shooting, the soccer, the football, and the third one will be, and dancing, and this will be my fourth one, the MMA. So far, favorites, I think the shooting and football.
I've been only in 2 games. It's football and MMA. And I love football, and it's very interesting format of football where only it's like mini football. And MMA, I didn't see a lot, so we will see how it be.
Here with the physical Spain, again with Spain, we came with the basketball, football, soccer, and Counter-Strike. But normally I have been working for football and also for basketball. But it's true that in the last few years I'm training me as a person in MMA. So I think that you can do all the video game, but it's true that for a long time I prefer FIFA. So I have been playing football for a long time. So I think we are all addicted to FIFA, but sometimes we play with the other people in Counter, Valorant, or LOL.
Wow. Tell us, do you like the digital part or the physical part more?
Physical, because it's more interactive. I don't really know what's going on the digital. I get confused, so physical for sure.
For me, digital is for the first time. It's interesting, but physical will be always more interesting, I think.
Yeah, it's what I told you. I always play in video games, so I love video games. But it's also when you are in digital games, you need to do both. So I think that is a great opportunity to do. I love physical. When you train, you feel good. But also I love video game because when you win, you feel also good. So I think I'm trying to introduce that kind of specialty in all the school for young people, inactivity people. So I think I prefer both.
Nice! Can you share who you root for in the finals?
It's my first day. I saw only NSC football team. I don't know how it's called exactly, and I very like them. I think they went from South America, and the way they celebrated their win, it's very interesting. They're like very united players.
Between Argentina and Mexico, we are Spanish spoken, so I prefer Mexico. I love that country, and I hope I encourage you to win in the digital soccer final. Let's go.
Finally, what do you think about perspectives of the games of the future?
I think it's going to grow a lot, and hopefully we can bring it back to South Africa as well. It'll be good. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to grow.
Yeah, I think the perspectives are good because now digital games are very popular among young people. So I think it will be very interesting in the future.
Yeah, I told before now, we were talking about that. I think the perspective we must to know more about this specialty, to introduce in the school, in different countries, with population that they don't do a lot of sport. I think that is, if you play video games, it's cool to introduce to the physical, and you do physical. Normally, all the people, all my professional players, they play video games in the free day, on the day, and the rest of the day that they are not training physical.
Thank you so much, everyone, for answering all of our questions. We wish all of you to have fun watching the tournament and the teams you cheer for.
And that was a huge shout out to every fan, everyone who's watching. I mean, this wouldn't be as successful as this is now without all the audience, all the guests that's been coming to the arenas, and of course watching on the broadcast also. Huge shout out to you guys. But again, I mean, 2-0 at the moment. One more game coming up up next. But let's take a look at the draft, which been for the last map. I mean, Shogun grabbed Uranus. I mean, Uranus was with Lutpi in the first map, and then Shogun just went ahead and grabbed Uranus first off. Moreno stayed with Navaria, which we saw how that played out, and Kyrie stayed with Hivara as well. I mean, he did his best for sure. And then I think the start around 2 minutes 30 seconds, that was very chaotic how they started, like double kills, and it was more around 3 kills within 2 minutes or 2 minutes 30 seconds. Great start to the game, but again, I mean, as it went down later, it was going to change. But let's give a big shout out to the Center Credit. Make sure you download the app. You can download it with the QR code up on the screen. Scan it, because managing finances is going to be tough without Center Credit. So make sure you check that out. Manage your finances easily with the Center Credit online banking app. Check that out with the QR code. Thank you for Center Credit for being one of the partners. And then as we went, as I said, the initial start for the last map was a bit chaotic. I really thought that's going to go ahead towards the end as well. I mean, that was around 2-1, a double kill for Kyrie, and of course, I believe the Bigatron got 1 kill as well. But that was very good start, to be honest, for the game itself. And then there is one pattern we saw in both the maps, is that around 30 minutes for the last map, there was only Kyrie left when Bigatron actually took down the other players from ONIC. And the same thing happened in the first map as well, where there was a point where I think around 10th minute when Bigatron actually took down all the players from ONIC and Kyrie was only left. But good job with Kyrie for this one, because at that point there was only Kyrie left and waited for others to re-emerge. But they made an attempt, but they backed up, but then came up again. 14th minute, we had 11-11, 2 equal kills at a tie. And then after that, I believe, Bigatron had a more control on the map. Plus, Bigatron had the load as well. After that, I think around 15th minute, all the bases were down. I mean, base turrets were down off ONIC. I mean, at that point, there was no return, I believe.
Yeah, definitely is. Thank you very much, Heidi, for mentioning everything about us. I'm thrilled to see what's going to happen on Game 3, just the same as you guys. We're gonna give our words to our beautiful casters, Naiso and Wolf. Please take it away, guys, and let's enjoy our game number 3.
Thank you so much, Heidi, as well. As Ilya says, we are indeed heading into a game number 3. There is a massive potential out there that this could be a 3-0. And it's not to say that ONIC is not showing anything, showing to us that they are worthy of this grand final. They did start 2 games with 3,000 gold leads apiece. And I think that it's just BTR finding better Lord fights. And it seems like BTR is showing us, okay, this is not a snowball meta anymore. What this meta is good team fighting, good sustain, and a lot of pokes with the Navaria. Naisu, do you think that game number 3 is a game that finally ONIC gets a victory with?
Hey, you know what? If that's going to be the case, Wolf, it starts with banning the Navaria, at least taking it away from Moreno, which they do. They do ban it out, which is good. I think all the ONIC fans around were like, come on, just ban the Navaria. Well, they banned the Navaria, okay? But this could leave something open, too. This might mean we might see Moreno just pick up a Selena. That might be one of the cases, because so far, it just feels like there's something about Bigatron by Vitality that is just, I don't know if they're just a kryptonite towards ONIC or what, because you know what, if Kelra's the god in the gold lane, Emon's freaking Batman, man. I don't know, because like what is happening in the gold lane? It seems like there are times when Kelra is winning the lane and he's able to go ahead and do things, but Emon just seems to play better as a team. It seems like the other teammates of Emon is just the utility belt, you know, and then all of a sudden he pops off. And that's something that I've been noticing here more that we watch Bigatron by Vitality play throughout this Games of the Future, is the way that they kind of move around the map together, but also the team fights. Like, I always look at the team fights as sort of this kind of choreography. And if you really look at what Bigatron by Vitality does, they're so good at that. Shogun is just that guy to be up front. You know, obviously he has to do that, especially with him usually picking up the Uranus. But then Finn, too, the way Finn moves and allows that space to be provided. Think about it. Niall's jungle was just destroyed half the time by ONIC, you know? But still, somehow, he makes this hero, the Hayabusa, who barely gets picked by anyone. He made it work, you know? And even that, it takes the entire team to either follow through after your ultimate is used, that shadow kill, or for you to be able to capitalize on it when he has, you know, he's building those Sky Piercer stacks. So it's just like, it's one of those things where Bigatron by Vitality is just doing more as a team. You know, is Marcel the answer to change things, hopefully, and not have a grand final be a sweep? Maybe so.
Yeah. it's a good step because it's also being banned out many times. But that opens up still the Uranus as well as the bats. I feel like if you are BTR, you want to pick up the bats still in this scenario. But in case they do have the Uranus as a substitute for it, so they do pick it up and they pair it up with the Matilda. Almost an impenetrable combo as we saw in game number 2. And there is some semblance of that in game number 1 where it was ONIC then that actually used that hero. Used that combo, Rafaela, with Uranus. But overall, we already know that this is such a good combination all throughout that you can really just plug and play any kind of jungler in here. Maybe you can get the Nolan eventually, or as we saw earlier, it was the Hayabusa, because there's so much that the Matilda as well as the Uranus is able to achieve. Especially up against someone like a Marcel, who is not a burst type of hero. In fact, this is not a hero that also facilitates for a burst, right? You really trickle heroes down with the Marcel. So they do pick up the bats, and this time there's the burst that you're looking for. There's the immediate takedown. And with the Brody, the torn apart memory, it seems like this is the answer. Because even when you guiding wind through it, once you have the stacks, the torn apart memory will actually be able to take you down.
Yeah, hopefully this is the pieces to the puzzle that ONIC needs, because it would be insane to me, I think, and to a lot of people watching, if this is actually just going to end up in a sweep by Bigatron, by Vitality. Because yeah, we saw the results, right, when they met back in their own regional professional league. We've seen them kind of go head to head multiple times, but it's just like there's got to be something here. Like, what is it about Bigatron that's just thrown ONIC off what most people are used to watching them be capable of doing? And these first 3 picks, as you had highlighted already, Wolf, are great. But then, I mean, look at the answer right now by Bigatron. It's still the same thing. Brother, Shogun, I'm surprised he's not tired of playing Uranus. Uranus is not the funnest hero to play, you know? But
what do you mean?
Shogun's gonna. I know you like to play the Uranus, right? This is just
that's right.
And even our good friend Wilmy was playing him earlier, and he was saying, you know, it's a boring hero, but man, does it get the job done, right? And I guess that's how it is. But then also, this is why the Matilda is so great, because you can just let Shogun do his thing, and then you have Finn roaming around, taking care of everybody, providing, you know, utility and speed and shields and everything else. And this is why I'm saying Emon Emon relies on everybody else. I mean, look who he's playing. He's playing carry. You can't. You literally cannot solo carry as carry. As crazy as that sounds, right? Pun intended. But you need the rest of the team, and that's why they build around that potential. Whereas then again, Moreno is like a playmaker on heroes you're not expecting, and Nile can hold his own. You know, so it's just like that seems to be what the magic sauce here is for Bigatron by Vitality.
Yeah, and the reason why I would agree with that is because the carry is good versus most of the heroes here for ONIC, especially against this Barretts, and its true damage also is appreciated up against the Marcel, who relies on the sustain and resistances. And if you have the Matilda with you, now you're almost impossible to beat. Now even the Brody is a problem, and you also have this Uranus to aid you when it comes to like peeling and everything. So BTR have mastered this kind of gameplay. If you're ONIC, you want to be able to take out the heroes of vitality as fast as possible. So you're going to be drafting a hero for Kyrie that deals on burst as well. That's why the Nolan as well as the Hardy was banned out, because if you're looking at ONIC, these are the heroes that will probably complement their composition and will be a problem for the Matilda. If the Matilda lineup is bursted down easily, then the Matilda is almost useless. You gotta find a way for you to be able to sustain your teammates.
Yeah. Oh man, you know, there's a lot of ONIC fans out there. Kyrie, Keller on screen here, ONIC in the back. It's just people are saying it's going to be a reverse sweep maybe. Well, it starts here. These next 2 picks that are eventually going to come through after the red 4 pick for Bigatron will tell us the potential of ONIC making that happen. At least taking one step in that direction. I do like what they already have. I mean, you know, this is already a very strong foundation, but whoa. talk about another curveball in our current meta, a Sicilian. Now, I know we've even seen the Carmilla, right? Carmilla has showed up a time or two. Well, now it's Sicilian. You take away my range heroes.
Yeah.
I still got another one.
There was actually a time
Moreno.
where it was Carmilla and Sicilian together. That was Rune Eaters that actually deployed it. Weren't able to win with it. But you're right. This is a Moreno special. And the idea here is to make sure that you take out the Marcel as fast as possible, as well as the Brody or threat to the Brody. And most importantly, they used what BTR played with. And now game number 3, we're picking up the Hayabusa, which was freshly picked up by Nael. So this kind of tells us that they might be behind, where BTR is dictating the tempo of this game, of this series, in fact, when it comes to drafting. Especially now that they picked up this Sicilian. I wonder what they close it out with. They're going to be looking for their jungler. What if they are the ones to pick up the Balmond?
Oh, man.
I think it made
Imagine
sense.
if they go Ballman, they take one. Okay. Oh, they're doing the... Okay, they're just having fun with it, right? I mean, Bigatron by Vitality up 2-0. It's match point. They're doing the combo,
What is the jungle?
man.
What is the jungle?
It's Carmilla. It's Carmilla.
Carmilla jungle. All right.
Yeah. It's the
doing the
Carmilla
combo.
jungle. We even saw this in MST. We even saw this in MST.
Right. You're
so,
right.
Carmilla jungle with the Sicilian. Are we... Don't tell me. They're gonna... I mean, is there some crazy stuff that they can do with the interactions, you know, and this is just... It's gonna feel a little weird, but I think it's also gonna put a statement out there if this ends up being a win for Bigatron. How are you feeling about it, Wolf?
Okay, so I always like pocket picks. I wanted this Carmilla Sicilian to be successful actually so many times before. So yeah, I like it. I think that this game with the Mathilda, there's a lot of sustain. Again, they will try to out-sustain ONIC. What they're going to do here is to poke ONIC continuously, force some ultimates, then try to survive with some iframes out there, which will be available for their Carmilla as well as their Sicilian. So yeah, this lineup rules. And I feel like it's not easy to pull off because it's so late game centric and it's so item dependent, but BTR have shown us in games 1 and 2 that they can make things like this work.
Well, we're going to find out if this is going to work or not. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's game 3 here, potentially the last one. Games of the Future 2026. Bigatron by Vitality is at match point against last year's champions, ONIC. Will they be able to go ahead and get it in a sweep with this lineup? Or will ONIC take one game and extend this series? We'll find out here. A lot, again, I think has to rely on the potential to make this work. Here's one thing though, Wolf. You can't let this get to the late game, man.
Yes,
because otherwise, like we've seen before, Sicilian is just going to be stacked up, and it's not going to be a fun time if you're ONIC.
No. So how do they deal with that? They're going to be using this Marcel to be aggressive. Maybe the third turtle is super important here for ONIC. That's why I feel like that also coincides with the fact that the Hayabusa will now get the important items. It has to reach critical mass. And of course the Brody. You got to be very intentful with your Brody when you draft it. That means that you have to activate it properly. And we will see how Kelra will play with this hero. To be fair, they will have to go through a lot of sustain coming out from BTR. But if they do get the burst, the initial burst, which they are very scary with, they can actually stop what BTR wants to do.
Oh, Shogun. Okay, he'll Guiding Wind on out, but the Shadow Kill is going to be enough to get that first blood in the hands here of Kyrie. Oh, the Sanguine Claws. And then they get trapped into it. Kyrie goes down. Good use of the claws there into the back. Impact. And now this turtle is up, but they'll just wait. They can go ahead and wait for Shogun to get back to this. Again, Broken Wall is going to keep that turtle there. There's a Feathered Airstrike coming down. Artillery. It's going to take out Nile now. Bigatron, do they just want to try to capitalize this on the turtle? They're going to go for it, and Sans will secure the turtle. But Moreno does fall, and now Bigatron trying to disengage from it.
Oh. And everything fails. It's going to be Sans to save it. Look at that wonderful play coming out from Sans. Using this Farsa, of course, with the Feathered Airstrike at the last moment so that they can take out the Carmilla. And good shot calling overall coming up from ONIC. We don't know exactly who made that call to still fight even when Kyrie has been lost to them, as Lutpi will be able to take a kill down the bottom with the aid of his teammate out there. So again, ONIC starting real strong, just like in previous 2 games.
Okay, now they have to maintain the kind of lead that they've already built for themselves up to this point. We'll see if they're able to do that. I think this is just a call for a readjustment that everyone's kind of needed. It's not that they haven't controlled the early game in the past 2 games. It's just somehow it's slipped through, and now they put pressure on Emon. Feathered Airstrike dropped down. Kelra's going to be able to get a couple shots off. He already used the torn apart memory, so Emon's going to survive. Are they going to rotate up there? You know, he's still dealing with pressure, but they want to go for this anyway. Golden Hour used up. Niall's looking for his own steal. He's going to get trapped into this, but the fight's already going to break out, so Niall is still there. Shadow Kill going to be used. He's going to take the majority of that damage. Oh. So Niall is gone, and now next is Finn. Sans, and they're looking for more, and Moreno will fall too, so ONIC will find nearly everything they wanted.
Every single thing that they want. They can even take out their third energy shield Samir with Kelra being in there, so that's a lot of extra gold that you're given to your gold laner. Gets back and pushes it. Gets a kill afterwards. Eman then taken out. Sans is on a different planet right now. We always say that Sans has always been one of the best mid laners out there. He plays so well. Whenever he is on, man, he is really, really on.
Yeah, this game, Sans decided, you know what, guys, let me take this game in my hands, at least for now. But it's just been different because of the pace that they're able to set. You know, this is also Onyx Turtle go ahead and take. You got Kyrie swinging over there. Everybody is a big threat to Bigatron by Vitality right now in this game. And Keyboy, too, on the Marcel, which we usually see banned out. There's a reason why it was prioritized, picked up. He's able to go ahead and provide so much information and just be annoying. I mean, look at him right now, just staying in the jungle over of Bigatron by Vitality. And also, again, with this kind of unique pick, maybe this is one of those cases where they oh my goodness, Loopy, yep, he took the purple. Loopy got the purple, so that maybe it's one of those cases, Wolf, where they just kind of overcooked and Sans gets another one on Emon.
Yeah, sometimes there are just games where you are so ahead and you are incentivized by being so aggressive. Sometimes you're not, but this game definitely is a game that incentivizes aggression from ONIC, as they are now controlling the map and they're taking so much away from BTR. However, it still is the early game, right? If there's anything that we've learned from the past 2 games that we've seen is that you're never going to be complacent if you're ONIC. There could be a lot of angles for BTR to eventually come back from this game.
Yeah, this is, okay, Shogun, he just tried to do what he could. He knew that he was caught out. The rest of the team's fighting in the mid lane, though. There's just not enough damage. I mean, Loopy enough, able to take those bad impacts, and now jumping forward, Keyboy has to flicker, but there goes a kill to Emon. He's able to go ahead and trade, so it's the XP laner for the Roam. The kill that Bigatron by Vitality needed here, but they're still massively behind. Yes, we've seen this before, but not this much of a deficit in between both teams, and it's about 6,000 gold. So we'll see. Bigatron by Vitality needs to cover some grounds. BTR, though, they can try to push this tier 1 turret, but look who's around the corner. Kyrie's here. They know it. They've got to go ahead and get back. Sans is also rotating up. They want to go ahead and fight this. Looking for a feathered airstrike. They're going to drop it down. Retribution used. Emon trapped by himself. Doesn't have Finn next to him, so he goes down. That's unfortunate.
No, unfortunate, but at the same time, ONIC are now in a spot where they can control this turtle because of that. The push up top also, my comments as the Brody is there. As long as they see the Moreno Sicilian, they know that they can push. From the other side, of course.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, yep, 3 for 3 turtles go in the hands of ONIC. ONIC has ballooned the lead up a little bit further now, almost 8,000 gold. And it's this is why we were saying, you know, it's a case of you just don't want to allow this to get to the late game. There's still potential that it can, but I mean, in this case, for ONIC, it would look really bad if somehow this game got away from them. Just because you don't take this kind of lead, face against this kind of composition, and let that happen. You know, there's just no way I can see that happening. This is one of those games, like you said, Wolf, where, you know, it might be one of those instances where it's just go again, you know, get us to the next one. Because right now it's just too much. And ONIC, you know, they got to wait for the Lord to come up, and there's still a minute and a half, so they're just going to go try to get the shield down here. Feathered Airstrike being dropped down. They want to push this wave in, but they can't get the shield just yet.
Going to be settling with this one for now, as they're slowly trickling down the resources of BTR. If they are oppressive this time with this Brody, I think they can easily take this game. And especially you cannot wait for when the Bat's impact coming up from Moreno is too much to handle and you're not able to push anymore. And you're going to be put in a game where it's...
Yeah, they're going to put pressure here at Tier 1 and the base. Feathered Airstrike dropped down. Emon in trouble, has to get away again, but Sans will burn him on it down, able to take one, and now Golden Hour are going to be dropped, trapped in it, but turret goes down first, and they go back to the fountain to heal up, and that's going to be the shield popping up finally here in the mid. They might be able to get the bottom, too, with 10 seconds still on the death timer of Emon. Rockets being thrown out here, Dragon Shogun back. Kelron is able to get a couple stacks here. Still tanky enough to go ahead and take that damage. Feathered Airstrike once again, but they hold on to the shield.
They hold down the jump. They want to try to go for an exchange here, BTR, but they can't. 5 seconds before the Lord has happened. So these are the games, these are the moments, specific moments that you have to look out for if you're on it, because these were the moments where you lost from the previous game. So
look at the jungle, man.
Yep, it's all on it.
The Carmilla is just, it wasn't it.
Yeah.
We've seen him before, but you're down 3,000 gold. And I think all he had was, what, Cursed Helm and another half item, basically, at this point. I mean, that is not where you want to be. I'm sure this one, once again, is probably... I don't think it's going to be an ending push here with this Lord, despite being up this much. But because they can still relatively clear out these waves. They can still hold on, but they might lose all the base turrets, especially since the shields were worked on, and ONIC got all these waves lined up. So they're going to start approaching the base here.
Yeah. The last time this happened, though, BTR were able to find something, so you got to be careful if you're ONIC.
Feathered Airstrike being thrown down. Golden Hour already used, too. They're going to clear out that Lord. It's nearly taken down this mid turret. They're going to jump in with the Shadow Kill. I thought Kyrie was going to use it. He actually holds on to it. So still, the Lord is cleared out. Now this bottom wave pushing forward. Bigatron, this is what we were talking about. This lineup allows them to clear these waves. And this whole time, this is the thing. Moreno's getting stacks here. Once again, they got to press onto this turret. A Feathered Airstrike dropped down. They're holding on, though. Clear out the waves.
Okay. Not too bad at all. Not too shabby at all for BTR, but they do lose their mid lane turret, which is going to be annoying for them to deal with. And now there is going to be the purple buff take coming out from side of ONIC. 90 seconds. That's another important milestone here for ONIC that they have to really be careful about, because not only were these moments the turning points in the previous games, but also it is a point where you're going to see whether or not you can actually take out the Sicilian, because Sicilian eventually will be a problem. Right now it isn't, but eventually it will.
Daytona's welcome. You're going to go ahead and throw Shogun down really low. Can't escape, and now trapped in the Golden Hour. Finn circling Eagle. The rest of the team taking the Shadow Kill here, too. They're trying to get back to the base, but Keyboy jumping forward. Moreno's still going to be able to survive because of the health. And now Finn in trouble. Kyrie will just go ahead and grab this one. It might take him a little bit longer, but Finn knows it. He's gone. And now the rest of the team of ONIC in this base with a wave pushing in. They've got the full force. Kyrie might not even need to be here for this, but they're going to do what they can. BTR on the defense, trying to clear out the waves. Daytona's welcome. Going to be used. Winter Crown. There's the Feathered Airstrike. They take out Nile. Lootby's in trouble, though. He does fall as Shogun's able to get it. The Shadow Kill is already going to be used. Now they have to heal up, but they're looking for more. They have the stacks there, and they're going to go for Emon. They're going to lock down on the Crystal. They've got a wave, a cannon minion, but BTR will still be able to defend.
They hang on. They use the Golden Hour, I guess, to stop any kind of progression coming out from BTR, but I guess they just are aiming to get this Lord for themselves, which they will, freely, style. They have inflated their own lead by about 13,000 now. 13,000 gold. And there still is a chip on their shoulder. Because of whatever happened in games number 1 and 2, you cannot be complacent if you are ONIC. But then you have a titanic lead now, though, with 2 turrets also down in the middle. So there's a lot that they can work with. Naisu, would you feel like there is still an angle where BTR eventually wins in this game?
Oh man, that's so. I feel like that answer lies on if Moreno can stay alive, and Emon. I mean, even for Emon, you know, on this carry, he's kind of had a really tough game, honestly. Moreno's going to go ahead and try to clear this wave. Shogun will go ahead and tank this up, but this is an opening for ONIC to go ahead and take. Consecration's already going to be popped too. They displace him a bit. Feathered Airstrike going to be dropped down, and Moreno still going to be alive. He takes a couple shots from Kelra, but they're going to clear out the Lord, and now Shogun falls. The front line is gone. Emon doing what he can, guiding wins on out, but they clear out the wave again. And now BTR, they got to clear out this Canyon mid and the wave in mid, but ONIC eyeing the base, eyeing the crystal here. They want to go for it. They're going to go ahead and just a last-ditch effort, try to stay in as Finn is gone, and now it's too long for Shogun to be up, so a Feathered Airstrike's dropped down. Emon is working on what he can, but the crystal's going to go to ONIC anyway. Finally, ONIC makes it a series.
And with the amount of lead, about 13,000 and even more afterwards, they use it as a battering ram to push their way and force their way into game number 4. The series is not over yet. Another good start for ONIC this game. However, this time BTR were not able to resuscitate themselves. Unfortunately, this decision with the Carmilla is still not working, at least for games of the future. That is game number 3. This time, Kelra quickly gets out of their booth, as it seems like ONIC have found their way again back to this series. More of that after this break.
Welcome aboard Air Astana. Our airplane flies into the realm of dreams. Relax as if at home, with satisfied reflection throughout your flight. You will rest and regain curiosity for new discoveries and encounters. After all, dreams are also part of the journey.
The premium family plans connected. That is Basistidi. Got a smartphone absolutely free. That is Basistidi. Hooked it up and no longer problems with home internet.
Get home internet and a smartphone for free with the premium family plan.
Get ready for school with WB. WB, all you need for classes and breaks with try-on and payment on delivery.
And we're back here in the panel's desk. Thank you very much, Naiso and Wolf, for your commentating. As you guys were saying earlier, finally they have found their keys, right? The ONIC?
Yes.
Yeah, the ONIC, they came back now, finally banning the hero called Novaria and making it win for themselves and make it easy for themselves. I mean, this is a champion title after all, and they're here to defend the title, so therefore they actually won their game. That was a clean game, let's be real, and outstanding performance from Sanjeev. Personally, the way how he played Farsa was incredible.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I think the first thing that they did was, I mean, the first plan was just banning Novaria. I mean, as soon as they get in, ban Novaria, because, and also that, I think that kind of paid off. I mean, we cannot completely negate it to that fact, but I mean, good performance by ONIC. Great. I mean, they had the map for themselves, I think, overall, for making all these fun and all these competitions happen. Let's give a big shout out to Freedom for being the general partner, bringing and making MLBB happen here in the Games of the Future 2026 here in Astana. But we are all excited to see what's going to unfold. I mean, I really wanted personally to for ONIC to win this one, because that's the only way we can have more maps going forward and get the thrill going, right?
I mean, if they're gonna ban Novari again, then they'll increase their chance. Let's put it that way, for the victory. I mean, this time it's different because Novari is out now. There is not a hero for Morino to do this so well, just like they were doing with Novaria. But nonetheless, let's take a look at the highlights here at the game number 3. We saw how the team here, the Sanzi gets his first kill, and from this moment he's been just clearly unstoppable. I mean, followed by with another assist kill, making a good game for Lupi as well. I mean, they got the Barrett as well. They were doing phenomenal, and then Kyrie again on his signature hero as well, doing an outstanding performances here. We see people are killing after killing. There's a minute 10. We see already 12 kills at our scoreboard, and it's making on 13 now. Just incredible overall performances. And on like I said, Sanji just did an amazing, outstanding performance here on his hero Farsa. And
of course,
we'll be seeing if the Farsa is going to be picked again. I personally, if I were ONIC, I would just do the same. So the same strategy, banning Novaria out, picking a Farsa if possible, making sure Sanzi gets his hero, getting a Barrett as soon as possible, and making sure that we can just have the same strategy on the game number 3 for ONIC. However, for Bigatron by Vitality, I mean, you guys are just one step close to get a championship. And now you guys should understand, okay, Navaria is out. There's not going to be a free win with Navaria once again. I mean, that was not 3 wins, but still. Like, now, you guys are playing with a different type of ONIC, right? Without Navaria. So, I'm pretty sure the team has to adjust on the heroes, and they should do very well. And we can see the scoreboard here, 18-4. That's a big stomp, I would say, from the team of ONIC.
Great comeback by ONIC right there with these stats up on the screen. Morino, I mean, he did good, I would say. But Kyrie going with Hayabusa was really good. I mean, he took down I believe the first turtle, second turtle, and even a Lord, or more than one. Great performance by Kyrie as well. And Sands, of course, on the mid lane, he smashed it with the Farsa. I think he's gonna come back with that again. We're looking for the next one for sure. Great performance by both the teams, but ONIC actually had this game. Sands, if you look at that, 7 kills, 0 deaths, and 6 assists. And Kyrie, 6 kills, 1 death, and 5 assists. Both of them, I mean, the whole team played really well. Let's face it.
Yeah. Everything was smooth. It looked that they had the strategy on their mind. Now it was a clear strategical move.
Yeah.
And I would like to also point out the Keyboy with 10 assists there. Always on top. He has no kills, 2 deaths, but 10 assists, always there, making sure his teammate Course getting those important kills. As you guys should be watching our beautiful Phygital games at phygital-plus.com, making sure you get to see all the insides, outsides, everything over there. Also, you guys can watch our VODs there. So if you missed your broadcast, no need to worry. You can also rewatch it over there.
Of course, I mean, even from the first 3rd minute, ONIC really had the lead, and everyone was hoping they keep the lead and not get Bigatron flip the other way around. But by 3rd minute, I think 3 minutes 20 seconds, they had a 4-kill lead with a 2k gold deal. I mean, towards when it went to the end, they almost had around 13k gold advantage for ONIC. Towards the end, that's a huge advantage. And at that point, I believe Bigatron didn't really have any turrets left for them. Right. Here we have the stats for Morino and Sands. How do you think?
I feel Morino has been unstoppable in 2 games in a row on his favorite signature here, Novaria. And I would like to point out Sanji. I mean, 13 KDA into 1.33 KDA from the players of BTR. Morino. Gold advantage is there, hero advantage is there. It's double damage on there, even if not almost triple. And hero damage, I mean, Morino took a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I mean, he of course he's been losing, but the kill participation, he's been always in the full kill participation there from Morino himself. But unfortunately, that's not enough when you have 4 kills totally for your team and when you're getting stomped by 18 kills from the team of ONIC.
Yes, of course, and we are yet to find out who's going to be the MVP. But before that, just to get you all the details in one place, making it so lot easier for you, make sure you check out our official website. You can see it on the screen, astana2026.gofuture.games. Check out our official website. You got everything in one place, making it a lot easier for you to get all the pulse from Games of the Future 2026 here in Astana. Check that out. But there we go. We got Sands as MVP. Great performance today as a mid laner.
Very well earned. I mean, he played phenomenal game. 706, 660 GPM, and overall, if Sands is going to continue just the way how he continues now, and if there will be Farsa picked again for him, I would be really happy to see Farsa in the second game on the hands of Sanji to make sure that to close the game number 4 and we can get to watch the game number 5. But nonetheless, let's see how they're gonna do. Let's see if Bigatron by Vitality can adjust on their heroes, because now they should be prepared for the Novaria ban, right? So there should be another hero, another substitution for the Novaria ban in order for them to pick. And also, they banning Novaria, I mean the ONIC banning Novaria, that creates an opportunity because they are skipping one ban that they were banning before. So the, what is it called? The team of Bigatron by Vitality, that now they can make advantage of they banning Novaria and make it a 4-head move and 5-head move. So making sure getting those important heroes and making the strategy easy and smooth for them.
Of course, I mean, the overall style, I mean, both the teams are going to be looking for the win for the next one, because for Bigatron, it only takes one more win to get that crown of the championship. Whereas if you're looking at ONIC, they still need to win 2 more matches, 2 more maps from this. So that's going to be, I mean, it is a challenge. At the same time, ONIC's been unbeatable so far until yesterday. But Bigatron actually came up and then changed that history for today. So we are yet to see how that's going to play out for the upcoming games. If by any chance, if the next game goes to Bigatron, we are done there. They're taking the crown.
100%. Also, I'd like to mention Team ONIC for their professional performance. I mean, just like what I said about Team Aurora, right? So they lost 2 games. They didn't give up, and they actually give their all in, make sure they adjust a couple drafts, make sure to secure that 3rd game, and then now we get to watch in the 4th game. But before that, let's watch our quick video about the couple interesting moments.
Did you know that a fan-made map jump-started a whole genre in competitive sports and contributed to the development of one of the adored games of many, Mobile Legends Bang Bang? Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, abbreviated as MOBA, is a subgenre of strategical games which started out just as a game called Aeon of Strife. Though it was far less developed than the typical games in the genre, since the characters didn't have any abilities, but the principle for the gameplay was established quite clearly. Players controlled a single hero unit fighting on 3 lanes, which were protected by defensive towers. Might be unusual to hear for us now, since the MOBA genre is so popular, but it was not true at all for the first 6 years of the genre's existence. Dota, League of Legends, Smite, Heroes of the Storm popularized the genre and eventually led to the creation of Mobile Legends. Released in 2016, Mobile Legends was designed to appeal to a broad audience, and appeal it did. The free-to-play business model, along with captivating heroes, were enough to win over the hearts of many gamers. Now, Mobile Legends Bang Bang has a rich international presence, attracting many players from Southeast Asia and South America.
That was an interesting video on the history of Mobile Legends Bang Bang. I mean, I didn't know the fact that this all started with a fan-made map. Like, that was interesting to know. That's a good fact, new fact for me.
I mean, that's the same history about Dota.
Yeah.
The Dota initially started from Warcraft 3 and initially also from the brought up by fans and making sure like there was another map. Right. So that's how the history becomes history. I mean, that's why MOBA now it's biggest, one of the biggest disciplines here out there in the world of esports.
Of course, I mean, released in 2016, I mean, we are going non-stop with MLBB right here. As you can see, we have a huge fan base for MLBB as for the game and also as for the competing teams and the players. We're going to be jumping into the next game 4 of the map 4 of this grand finals in a short while. But again, as I said, if Bigatron manage to get the next one down, we are having a crown, we are having a championship, but ONIC still has to win 2 more games just to get to that championship. A few moments which I really noted from the last game is around 3:20, where I really felt like ONIC has the game in their hands, where they were 4-1, a 3-kill lead plus 2k gold lead for ONIC, and then it went ahead when you went up in less than 30 minutes, sorry, in less than 30 seconds, it became 7-1, a huge lead for ONIC as well. And then of course Kyrie just went down and slayed the turtles and the lords as it went on, and by 6th minute it was 10-1. I mean, what a lead right there. And then by around, I believe around 13th minute, or between 12 minutes and 13 minutes, that was 13k gold lead for ONIC. Huge lead, gold.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the way how ONIC just now adjusted themselves and the way how they just started to respect ban the Novaria from the team of Bigatron by Vitality was a very smart choice, because otherwise there would be could be a consequences, which they actually took the consequences for. I mean, on the game 1 and game 2 we've seen two Novaria picks, and they were just phenomenal now consecutive wins for the team of Bigatron by Vitality, where for example Team Aurora, they hadn't had that chance to make sure to ban the third game because they actually played two wins on making sure to close out Aurora. And now they're winning 2 games off of the ONIC, and I do respect ONIC for their perseverance and for their being professional, because they are managed to get a game off of them. Now it's 1-2. We'll see how it's going to be played out on game number 4. If we're going to get to see game number 5.
I mean, the composure of the teams is a very big factor when it comes to these kind of situations, because you're looking at a big, huge prize money plus a championship, which could be 2 championships in a row for ONIC. So for them, losing the first 2 maps is actually very disheartening, I would say. But keeping that composure game for going for the 3rd map, getting into that in a fresh mind, with a fresh mind and the strategy to back it up is, I mean, that's commendable once it. And also it's worth noting that ONIC actually made 3 attempts, I believe, towards the base. First 2 attempts were actually defended by Bigatron. So I guess we are ready for the game. Up next, our legends, Wolf and Niso is getting ready, and over to you guys. Let's do this.
Thank you so much, boys at the desk, Elias, as well as Haiti. We are at the precipice of seeing either the series extending into a full best-of-5 or it ending right now, as BTR have managed to bounce back in the first 2 games of this series, scoring 2-0 against the dominant ONIC in the early stages. Game number 3, however, was different. They started with this Carmilla as well as this Sicilian, a combo that is, I would say, cheesy in all things considered. And unfortunately, it didn't work. That's why we are now heading into a game 4. Naisu, what changes should there be for ONIC? Should they just continue banning that Novaria?
That's a great question, because are they going to do that on Red 3 ban? If they, I mean, no one, I don't see them wanting to play it, right? Like, unless Sans decides to go ahead and do it, but it might have been one of those cases where it's like, okay, it's just better if we do, because it's likely to go in the hands of Moreno. But I think more so of what ONIC can do to even out the series is just, again, replicate that team play we saw. They played the same way they did the previous games. Again, they controlled most of the early games throughout the series. It just somehow BTR was able to go ahead and make a comeback and then turn it over on its head. You know, even when they were down a couple thousand gold. But ONIC, in last game, they got a lead. They kept going. They didn't let up. They're still going to ban out the Novaria, because that seems to be one of the lucky heroes for BTR. So this is all things they need to do. Fanny's going to be the first pick, though, to go in the hands of Nile. And I think that was one of the main things that they struggled with last game. Nile couldn't be activated, albeit it was a Carmilla, right? I mean, let's be honest. It was kind of a cooked draft, but, you know, this is better.
Yeah, this is totally different, but this time with the Fanny, you are already challenging ONIC for something that is similar. I feel like the way that you do it is the way that you are signaling to ONIC that okay, pick your hero now, Kyrie. Are you gonna let me just run rampant with the Fanny? Your ego can't handle that for sure. Ego draft against me. That's what they're trying to say here. But ONIC, my God, they get my favorite combo. It's the Paquito and the Barretts. Already a very strong start for ONIC.
Yeah, I like the start. They get themselves the Barretts, the Paquito, which, you know, right now, let's just assume this is a Kelra Paquito. I don't see Kyrie wanting to play this against the Fanny, but let's see. What does that say? Nile is better than Kyrie? Is that what that said? Nile's better than Kyrie. We got people warming up in the audience as well for this one. But Matilda and Brody. So they're going to go ahead and snag the Brody here instead of letting that go over to Kelra. But again, I'm assuming Kelra is going to play the Paquito. And then again, Finn will go ahead and grab the Matilda. So Matilda, Brody, Fanny. Yeah. This is a pretty powerful first three picks.
For sure, sure.
We've already seen Nile play the Fanny multiple times, but even in the first game, like, he did pretty good with it. So what's the answer here for ONIC?
You pick up a. You probably want to keep this Paquito flexed. So that means that you would want to pick up your mid lane or your roamer now. And when it comes to dealing with the Matilda, I think you're better. As well as the Fanny, you want to pick up the Valentino, but they immediately pick up the Hayabusa. It's like, okay, yeah, the ego challenge worked up against ONIC. This draft coming out the Fanny, coming out from Nael, it means that Kyrie will not let him have a losing matchup. At least with this Hayabusa, you have a fighting chance. Almost always. So this is going to be an interesting battle between two teams. I feel like the Paquito Barretts is just too good, though, as an opener here for ONIC, and it's hard to really contest now if you are BTR.
I like that we'll at least get the, you know, that matchup in the jungle, the Hayabusa and the Fanny. I think that's always really fun to see how the teams make that work, but also just how these two individual junglers move around the map. You know, so far the assassins that they've played have been great, and you know, Carmilla's the only one that really it doesn't fit that profile, but let's forget that, right? Now you get to go ahead and do things on the Fanny that you couldn't do on the Carmilla, because even if you get behind on the Fanny, you still at least have an option. I think that's one of the biggest things, whereas in comparison, let's just say with that Carmilla, you fall behind. Literally at one point you had one item. It was a cursed helmet, right? And you just can't do much other than just maybe stun and drop down your cursed blood ultimate. But at least with the Fanny, if you get behind, then let the team handle themselves while you at least put pressure across the map. So it's going to cause a response, and then, you know, Hayabusa can do that. So you might see just a 1v1 assassin in an off lane or something happening while the rest of the team is dealt with each other. You can see the roam options being narrowed down here a little bit further, still respecting that Selena too. So Moreno, is he going to surprise us with a different pick? I think is where we're wondering where we're going, right? Like, what else? Because the Sicilian, I don't know if the Sicilian would have been fine in a different instance, like if they didn't have the Carmilla, because we didn't really get to see it hit that power spike.
I think the Sicilian makes a lot of sense in that draft. I think that it has a lot of potential in that draft too. Yeah, I do agree. It's just the Carmilla that was the choice from the jungle role, in fact, right? So it's like they're putting themselves in a situation where it's almost it's difficult to win, to be honest. But at the same time, if they do win, it looks good. Now, ONIC will close this one out with a Ruby from probably the roam position, which is interesting because it is another role. Definitely that the Ruby can be played in. It's just that teams are veering away from it. They want the scalability of a Ruby to be there. But it's one of those heroes that are always answers to assassins, most importantly against both the Hayabusa as well as the Fanny. So I think this is a generally good pickup for ONIC.
Yeah, I like that because it just gives you ways to go ahead and catch, you know, catch the Fanny, catch the Brody if you can. this Vexana pick. This was banned out a couple games ago. This time it's going to be picked up. Really good crowd control. The Eternal Guard is great to go ahead and play on. Plus, you got the Hylos here now, too. So, helps speed things up or slow down ONIC. This is a well-rounded draft, I would say, from Bigatron by Vitality. But I think even if you look at ONIC, they're just lacking some magic damage. So, it's like, what is their mid laner to do that? Is it just a Farsa? Is it just going to be a Farsa again? Is there something better for them to fight into? I know Eve has kind of fallen off, but yeah, okay. It's going to be the Farsa. Farsa is the best kind of punch for the damage, you know, like in the magic department, at least to go ahead and give you that early skirmish capability here. So I do like what ONIC brought to the table, man. And honestly, I think this could be a 2-2 by the end of this one. You know, obviously, Coach Yeb keeping the players there motivated. They're ready to go. I think they have the momentum. Great draft here, too. But let's see. Bigatron by Vitality might be able to make something happen with this Fanny, with this very mobile lineup to be able to move around the map.
So I get your sentiments, right? I think that this is more of a standard pickup for some ONIC fans out there. But yeah, for ONIC in general. Yeah. What you get from this is, I guess, stability. And a lot of ways to approach the game. It's not mid-game centric only. It's not late-game centric only. There's so many ways for them to approach team fights. And with this Farsa, where Suns was heating up in the previous game, to allow them to really piggyback off of that. But same can be said for BTR. I think that their lineup is pretty solid in a way that it has a lot of options.
Oh, kill squad Shogun! He popped the Revitalize, but he is going to eventually go down unless Fitz can take him out. Oh, what a guiding wind save, but now can he bob and weave? Oh, Shogun tried. First blood go in the hands of Lutpi. What a move. What a plan, man.
That's interesting. But at the same time, would they achieve anything out of that? Maybe this is the only time that they can do that, you know? And it happens to be in game number 4, so I think it's safe, because if they want to extend the series, then that's really some sort of the early game shenanigans that they really wanted to utilize. And the thing is, they only had to pop the flicker onto Lutpi, so there's not much that they had to do for that one to work. It did work. First skill going in for ONIC.
Yeah, this is the XP lane is just kind of funny because it's a Barrett and a Hylos, you know, and like we mentioned in the draft, you usually don't see some of these heroes in those roles. They're going to go for Lutpi, though. Niall's up here, but Lutpi's tanky enough. You really can't commit to that. So one of the things is XP expected to be kind of a dead lane, right? It's mostly what they're capable of doing when these turtles come up, especially now that it's on their side. They want to go ahead and have those level 4s. If you think about value, though, who's the better value? The Glorious Pathway ultimate for Hylos or the Daytona's Welcome from Lutpi?
Yeah, it really depends on the situation, I feel like. But generally speaking, most of the situations, I feel like 90 to 10 is going to be the ultimate coming up from Lutpi. The Daytona's Welcome. Especially with all these top XP laners, I feel like they have been so good controlling and piloting this Barretts, and they're very sneaky with it, and I'm just happy to see a lot of good stuff from them.
Oh yeah, Joker just laying down his own pathway to death, it felt like on that one. That's going to be a kill going over. They're looking for more. Emon, a little bit late to that, but they do find a Kelra. Good pickup and response by BTR, although the turtle went to ONIC.
Yeah. I think you're happier if you're BTR, actually, because ONIC giving away some kills is always bad when it comes to the first turtle fight. I feel like kills are more important, but because of that, oh my god, Keyboy. What a snag. That's the reason why we say the Ruby is somehow a counter to the Fanny.
Yeah, this is going to be trouble. Guiding Wind. Oh, good usage. The Run Wolf King, Feathered Airstrike down. Emon bobbing and weaving, using the stun too. He's actually going to be able to survive. Really good usage of his own kit to stay alive in that Feathered Airstrike. Good play there, but now there's some more pressure. Kyrie's going to be a little bit too late to that, but he is going to take a green camp over. And you can see he's got a lead now, a level ahead of Niall. Niall getting caught in that bush was very detrimental to him, at least for now.
Yeah. I don't want that to happen at all. It's going to be some movements here coming out from ONIC here in the bottom lane where you have to now think about Kara because you're fine with the other heroes already, right? Luffy's fine, Keyboy is having a great time, Sans is definitely having a great time, and Kyrie by extension is safe. So you're gonna have to think about Kelra now if you're ONIC. How do you activate this Paquito? It seems like the response is to force some rotations into the first turtle, or in the second turtle I mean, where it is nearby the Kelra lane.
Okay, so at this point, what do you look for if you're a BTR? You know you had not really a chance in that last turtle, so now you want to go ahead and try to make it happen. Obviously, Shogun, he's going to have to watch where he puts down this glorious pathway, but Ludwig is pretty much doing the same thing. So Shogun just doesn't want to get caught into a Daytona's welcome and thrown into the opposing team while the rest of the team isn't ready. So buffs are secured. Kyrie's going to go ahead and make his way. Same thing with Nile. He's got both of his. So it's going to come down to an entire team fight for this one. Actually, Purple's just coming up. Daytona's welcome on Nile as he's thrown out already. Eternal Guard going in and knocking them up. But Moreno is gone. And now without Moreno, this is a tough one. Bigatron's just going to have to give this up. So Turtle should just go over to ONIC. He's going to grab his purple buff and rotate in. Malefic Gun, first item rush for Emon. He needs the range here. So ONIC, easy take on this objective.
Yeah. It took a lot of effort from BTR to be able to find their way into that fight, but in the end, it wasn't enough for them. It was a difficult scenario to be in, I would say. But at the same time, it's proven that ONIC is just better at team fighting at that point, and especially because they're equipped in the early stages. This early game comp that they have with the Barretts, with the Paquito, it's just way too good. But this time though, they're just utilizing the Ruby as well as the Farsa just efficiently. Be always a threat, you know, because if you're BTR, you're always afraid. There could be a bush play that Keyboy can do with the flicker on hand. So up top, Kelra. Oh, he's gonna be able to outplay the hill. Unbelievable.
Oh, man. I thought the Carmilla was a bad game. Well, right now for the Fanny, it might be worse. Finn taking the shadow kill here from Kyrie. Circling equal to be used. They're going for Kyrie. They do have the damage to take him out. Emon able to capitalize on that with the torn apart memory. Good play down here in the bottom lane for BTR.
Oh. Wow. I'm actually surprised like how BTR, well, they're finding ways for sure, but taking down Carry is the most important thing at this point because they're stopping the Hayabusa and also allowing for Emon to get a kill. So they achieved so many things out of that play. BTR are now slowly working their way back into this game. It started not so well, but now they are finding a lot of ways.
Oh, they're making a play again. Eternal Guard dropped down, but Keyboy should be able to survive that. Really good response there for ONIC to be there on that engage. Now what we're seeing is Nile trying to kind of recuperate here. It's not that he's down too much in terms of levels, but I wonder what the gold difference is right now. I'm not sure if we can actually ask for to take a look at the items to see what the difference is between things, because that's the main thing. There we go. Thank you so much. Now 1.3K between the XP laners, but the jungle's not so bad given how things have gone for Nile. This isn't too bad. 500 gold lead for Kyrie. With this next turtle up, third turtle of the game, they're going to go ahead and work on it. We'll see if they're able to go ahead and secure this one. Nile has to go ahead and approach this carefully. A turret's going to fall though as Kala knocks it down. They're really taking their time to allow Kala hopefully to get here for this fight. Circling Eagle going to be used. Already the marks knocking forward, but the turtle secured by Kyrie. Emon gets the kill. Kelra waiting with the full stack champ stance. He looking for an opening. Nile goes in. He's able to take out one. There wasn't one for Kelra though. Now Kyrie going in with a shadow kill. Kelra's going to go ahead and flicker forward and take out Moreno. So at least something, but it's Kyrie that falls too. So BTR wins the number team fight there.
Wow, this is definitely BTR showing us that they are really good at 5v5s. You can see how well they dance around ONIC. They go in and out, taking advantage of the sustain that they get from the mid lane, from the Roma, Matilda, and then of course the EXP Hylos with this Revitalize. They were able to out-sustain ONIC once again, and that made it really awkward for Kairi, the Hayabusa. As we have said many times in this series, it's very awkward for Assassins to work around Sustain, to work around Matilda as well as, you know, maybe Rafaela. This time, Matilda and a revitalized Hylos. And what ends up happening is that Eman is just able to just stack up, just keep on attacking whoever is in front, who's facing for ONIC. And then when the turn apart memory opens up its windows, Eman is just there to collect.
Yeah, this is, it's looking a whole lot like what we saw back in 1 and 2, man. Games 1 and 2, Bigatron by Vitality somehow finds these ways to get themselves back. I mean, again, think what Niall has had to go through. The amount of pressure, being caught, you know, by Keyboy on the Ruby and everything else, getting killed by Kelra. But he's still able to go ahead and do this. And now, even if Kelra surprises him, he takes a couple punches, he's not, you know, he's not going to get bursted down so quickly. So Niall's going to continue to put pressure across the map. ONIC now has to shift their focus for that to make sure that Niall's just not pushing elsewhere, pushing turret down eventually, and able to get real estate across the map. Both junglers doing the same thing here up on the top side now that Lord has spawned.
It's gonna be tricky now because every single lead that ONIC was able to build has now been erased. Of course, there's 1,000 lead ONIC right now has, but it doesn't feel as impactful as it should. And again, another good start by ONIC, but one good team fight from BTR was enough for them to turn things around. It's because of the positioning that we're seeing from BTR, the sustain that they have, understanding properly why and how this kind of composition works. Like what are the ins and outs of a Matilda kind of composition, and how do you utilize it, and how do you win against Assassins with it? ONIC are still the first ones to put themselves in front of the Lord. Vexana down in the bottom lane, not showing himself just yet. A tricky situation now for ONIC. Lord is at 50.
Okay, Moreno might get here in time. They actually delay this Lord take, and Niall's getting his buff, so it's gonna reset. So even with that information, they're able to go ahead and handle that wave a bit, at least so it's even. Now Niall and Moreno will be back for this fight. ONIC is respecting the potential setup here that BTR can pull off.
Surely. Kairi has reset his buffs again. One more cycle, double buff. Bottom lane being controlled by Kelra. Keyboy is there to help a little bit.
They want to make a play. They want to make a play on Kelra. They're going to drop the Eternal Guard. They get the Terrify off, but oh, they miss a little bit. Kelra's trying to get away. The cable, though. He's 1 HP away. That Eternal Guard quite hurtful, but he's actually going to be able to go back to the base. And now, can they get back in time? This is Flying Cloud, so they will be able to travel very quickly. Again, a big factor here is the map that they're currently playing on. The Clouds being able to bring them back quickly, reposition themselves. So a good attempt by BTR to try to take out Kelra, but it just didn't happen.
Did force out the flicker onto Kelra, and Moreno will have his flicker first. Seems like they have already started with the Glorious Pathway, but no commitment just yet, even after circling Eagle Daisu. It's interesting that BTR are wasting some of their ultimates just looking for an opening.
I think they're really just trying to delay ONIC and make them second guess this. One of the strengths, again, of having a Matilda, and it looks like even ONIC doesn't know if they want to fully commit to these mind games of BTR, as the Lord is just dragged back and forth between both squads. Looks like Niall's got something else in mind. He wants to go ahead and take the purple buff. He wanted to see if Kairi would rotate for it, so he's going to take it away. Win a crown for Finn. This could have been also part of the plan, man. Just wait for some of these defensive items to be available to make it happen. They know that this Lord alone could potentially get them to the base turrets of ONIC, and vice versa. Loopy, half health, taking some damage here. Shogun as well, he's quite low. They're gonna go for Loopy. Loopy pops it, whoa, pops it, Daytona's welcome, but he was so low, he's gone. They're gonna set it up in the mid lane as Shogun goes next, and Niall's gotta get out of there because he's low. So now it's gonna be a reset. He's gonna go back to base, and ONIC will reset as well.
The pokes of coming out from BTR was enough for Lutpi to be forced to make that play. albeit good catch coming out from Lutpi, but he was far too low. So when he popped the Daytona's Welcome on the right target, the damage was too much for him to handle. He was taken out. And Keyboy had to pop the flicker just to salvage that fight. So it's an XP for XP trade-off. But flickers, battle spells, I mean, gonna be more available for BTR just quite a while. So ONIC really has to delay this for themselves.
Oh! Huge Eternal Guard dropped down and Kyrie goes down too. It's a double for Nile. They knew that Kelra was down to the bottom wave and they set it up, and now in the mid lane, they're going for Kelra. Kelra, he's got stacks, he's got some shields, but he's all against the world. For BTR.
Oh my God, Moreno. The problem for ONIC for the longest time, and showing no signs of stopping, my man. And now, look at them knock into the front door.
They just want to take this turret out. They're going to be back up here. BTR knows it. They're happy with the base turret for now. They still have the Lord to go ahead and spawn and start marching forward. But man, oh man, what a setup from BTR. Taking a look at the items here, Wolf, you see what they've got available. I mean, even the Brute Force breastplate now for Nile is why it's so difficult to actually burst him down, you know, to kill him down. He's in, and even enough to kind of work around that is just, how does ONIC play the long game here? The long map is what they're dealing with. And that moment of Kelra being on the bottom side made this happen. Now they're going for the bottom turret. They still got to deal with the Lord here. They're going to go ahead and try to clear out the last cannon minion. Kelra will be able to do that. So they maintain the base bottom turret. Tier 2's all down. ONIC sees BTR knocking at championship point for this one. But they'll clear out the waves and they manage it well as Lord goes down too.
Morena's just playing out of his mind in this whole grand final. Even in the game that they've lost. Still Moreno playing so well, and this game, he is a problem for ONIC.
They just want this base turret, little fake out here. Glorious Pathway drop down. Eternal Guard, they're going for Keyboy. He's quite low, picks up the immortality. He's gonna be fine, and BTR, they take the discipline route to back off. They got 2 base turrets off that Lord, and now ONIC gets another chance to go ahead and reset and not let that happen again.
It's really dicey spot here for ONIC. You know one thing that's fortunate for them is that the Lord will spawn onto the short lane, where their short lane is the side that was pushed up, and their long lane, they still kept their turret intact in that in that lane, so they still have a fighting chance. But now we've reached critical mass for BTR. The Fanny has been a problem, and now is a full problem with this Brute Force breastplate, so that there is additional anti-CC that you get. So that means that the small amount of crowd control that they have with the Ruby is definitely not going to be enough anymore. And he is also tankier, so gotta be careful about that, mindful about that. ONIC also does not have a marksman, so at this point in the game, he can only do so much with the Paquito. You will need the help of your teammates, which means that a 5-man wipe coming out from ONIC is difficult to pull off. You really have to slowly trickle down BTR if you want to score that. So everything is just difficult now for ONIC.
It's crazy how, again, the story happens. It looks like they're going for a sandwich play to cut off Lutpi. He has no stacks. He could be in trouble. Pops the flicker. They're going to go and crash down on him. Eternal Guard again, and Lutpi is gone. Without the stacks of Feathered Airstrike, he's going to be stunned by Shogun. Good play. Emon still alive as Kelra gets a shutdown. But again, the stun comes through as Keyboy falls, and now Kelra on the run. He's quite low. A quarter of the health. They're going to chase him down. He has the shields, though, so he's going to be fine, but they got a wave to deal with. Down bot and BTR without Nile, though. I don't think they can get much more, even though they're in the base here, unless ONIC decides to go ahead and go for a defense. They're going to try to make something happen. Glorious Pathway dropped down. Finn goes in. Do they want to lock onto the base here? They're trying to delay this as much as they can. But again, the combos come through. Kelra picks up an immortality, but he's going to be in trouble and taken down by Emon. And Moreno goes in with a flicker. It's a double for Emon. The setup from the Maestro, a triple. And they're looking to end it here. Can he get the Maniac? They don't even need it. They're going to go for it and then the base. And there you go. Bigatron by Vitality. They want to go for more. They want the Savage, but they don't care. They'll take the championship from ONIC here.
denied of a back-to-back championship run. Not only in this tournament, but also in a tournament prior to this. BTR has got ONIC's number. The members of BTR are just way better at the game when it's the grand final up against ONIC Indonesia. Again, the champions. Unfortunately for ONIC, they have not been losing up until this point. It was almost a perfect run for them here at the Games of the Future. But when they went up against BTR, the tides have changed. BTR are just on a different planet, on a different playing field. All of the games, ONIC led in the early stages, but eventually BTR were able to pull it back to their side.
Man, M-On, E-Man, The-Man, Batman, like whatever you want to call him. I mean, Bigatron, by Vitality, they've got the flag there. They've got the championship. They got the trophy in front of them, Wolf. And as a team, I mean, just phenomenal. MLBB, once again, to be able to make this happen. The Maestro and everyone else, Niall, this as a team, they are your Games of the Future 2026 champions.
Great run coming out from BTR by the Vitality. We were talking about and hyping up how much ONIC have figured out the meta game where it's a snowball game that you have to win your lanes. And if you get a lot of lead in the early stages, you can win. But BTR, they just smacked us in the face and said that it's different. We know how to win. It's a sustained meta after all. The Rafaela, the Matilda, the Hylos with the Revitalize, they are all a tool to take out the snowball metagame where you're always just killing people left and right with an immense amount of damage from assassins. In the end, the masters of poking BTR were able to win it against the burst of ONIC Indonesia. And what a championship it has been, I see.
Let's go ahead. Thank you so much for joining me and Wolf here. We're going to be going to the panel after the break here, but congratulations to Bigatron by Vitality.
Welcome aboard Air Astana.